proactive and well-defined sector-specific policies for growth towards sustainability. To be a part of the event, you can register yourself at www.investkarnataka.co.in.
We are looking at sustainability because you have been seeing the impact of climate change and how we can ensure that our manufacturing, our way of living is in sync with what Mother Earth requires. So again, sustainability is the third pillar that we are looking at.
Meanwhile, breaking developments coming in on the controversy that has erupted after an Indian pharmaceutical company was linked to the death of 66 children in the Gambia. Now, WHO has, after WHO's alert, Union Health Ministry has reacted. They have issued a statement saying that several samples have been collected. Some of them have been found to be contaminated. However, the drugs that were being exported, the cough syrups that were being exported, were only licensed to be sold outside of country, which means that they were not for sale within India, which might come as some sort of respite for the locals who would have been wondering whether knowingly or unknowingly they would have been consuming these medicines as well. We've got a reaction coming in from the minister in Haryana on this controversy.
मामला बताया जा रहा है, हमने तुरंत संज्ञान लिया है और मैंने प्रातः उठते ही अपने ड्रग कंट्रोलर को कहा कि जाकर इसकी कार्रवाई करें और केंद्र सरकार के अधिकारी भी इसकी पूरी जानकारी ले रहे हैं। केंद्र सरकार के हेल्थ सेक्रेटरी और फार्मास्यूटिकल सेक्रेटरी ने आज प्रातः ही हमारे जो हेल्थ सेक्रेटरी हैं उससे बात की है और ये निर्णय तय हुआ है कि पहले कोई कार्रवाई करने से पहले इसके हम सैंपल चेक करवा दें। तो इसके सैंपल लेके जो सेंट्रल ड्रग लेबोरेटरी है कैलकाटा में, वहां पर सैंपल भेजे गए हैं।
Moving on to some other stories that made headlines, External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar has raised issues surrounding visas to Indian students during his meeting with his New Zealand counterpart. This is in the backdrop of several Indian students being impacted by stringent COVID-19 measures. A 20-year-old Indian origin student studying in Purdue University has been found murdered in his dormitory in the US state of Indiana. His Korean roommate has been taken into custody. An Indian origin family of 4 who were allegedly kidnapped from Merced County in California were found dead. A 48-year-old man was taken into custody in relation to the crime. Former Nepal cricket team captain Sandeep Lamichhane was taken into custody for sexual assault charges against him after arriving in Kathmandu. Over 30 people have been killed in a mass shooting incident at a children's daycare center in northeastern province of Thailand. The gunman was an ex-police officer and a manhunt is currently underway to nab him. In response to US-South Korea joint military drills near Korean Peninsula, North Korea has launched 2 short-range ballistic missiles towards its eastern waters. That's all we could pack for you in this broadcast. On the other side is Editor-in-Chief Rahul Shivshankar with day's biggest debate as well as a historical one.
Thanks indeed, Priya. Thanks indeed. Yes, the day's biggest controversy story, call it what you want to, viewers. Right up first, viewers, Martin Luther King, the rights activist, once said, "We are not the makers of history, but we are made by history." Today, viewers, these words are calling out to us more than ever before, especially when a controversy has erupted around the film Ponniyin Selvan. The period drama made by Mani Ratnam tells the story of the early life of Ponniyin Selvan, who later became the Chola Emperor Raja Raja I. The Chola Emperor ruled between 947 and 1014 AD. But viewers, as soon as the film was released, several notables have accused Mani Ratnam of saffronizing the Cholas. They claim that the term Hindu didn't even exist during the reign of Raja Chola in the 9th century. So why then is the Chola king being depicted as a Hindu? The claim would have been liable to be dismissed had it not been made by the likes of filmmakers like Kamal Hassan, Vettimaran, and a galaxy of top actors and politicians. The politicians overwhelmingly belong to the ruling DMK and its allies. First, listen to what is being said about this film and the depiction of Raja the First.
இந்து மதங்கிற பேர் ராஜராஜ சோழன் காலத்தில் கிடையாதுங்க. அப்படி வைணவம்னு இருந்தது, சைவம்னு இருந்தது, சமணம்னு இருந்ததே தவிர அது வெள்ளக்காரங்க நமக்கு வச்ச பேர். என்ன சொல்றதுன்னு தெரியாம தூட்டுக்குறைன்னு சொன்ன மாதிரி தான். எல்லாரும் எங்களுக்கு மதங்கள் வெவ்வேறு இருந்தது. அதையெல்லாம் 8ஆம் நூற்றாண்டில் ஆதிசங்கரங்கிற ஒரு ஷண்மத ஸ்தாபனம்னு பண்றாரு. இதெல்லாம் சரித்திரம். அந்த சரித்திரத்தை இங்கே சொல்லக்கூடாது.
He is a Saiva king. You know, during those days there was a fight between Saivism and Vaishnavism, and Rajarajan built only Shiva temples, not Vaishnava temples. It was not there when Rajaraja was the king, because India was not there at the time. There were many kingdoms.
But the question is, any attempt to communalize anything, it is an anti-national action. Whoever tried to communalize any incident, that is anti-national.
ராஜராஜ சோழன் வந்து ஒரு இந்து அரசன் ஆகிறதா இருக்கட்டும், இப்படி தொடர்ந்து நடந்துகிட்டு இருக்கு. இது சினிமாவிலும் நடக்கும். சினிமாவிலும் நிறைய அடையாளங்களை வந்து எடுக்கிறாங்க. இந்த அடையாளங்களை நாம காப்பாத்திக்கணும்.
Viewers, obviously the controversy is raised because some people have said there is no merit in these claims. Can Raja the First be de-Hinduized? That's the fundamental question. Now let's look at the historic record. And viewers, let me tell you that these are hard facts, and these are very easily accessible to each one of you. And my job is to bring you the hard facts, to bring you a step closer to the truth so that you're better informed. So let me take you through the historical record. What does it tell us? It tells us principally that history is being ignored. Kundavai, who is Raja's sister, her inscription, in her inscription she refers to herself as Adavar. The inscription is there for you to see, viewers, on the right of your screens. Adavar is Vaishnavite term for the most devout of Vishnu's disciples. Inscription during Raja's life, let's look at that, invokes both Shiva and Vishnu in the preamble, reference to crescent moon, Lord Shiva at Kailasha, reference to Vishnu takes yoga nitra at Pambini. Viewers, let's have a look at more facts. Cholas built the Brihadiswara temple. The temple in Thanjavur was the largest building in India back then, and some say that it remains in vast acreages around still the tallest structure. Hindu Agama Shastra followed. All Raja's temples strictly follow these Hindu traditions. This has been told to us by Anirudh Kanisetti, who is a historian. Viewers, there is more material. Look at that picture. All of us know this statuary very, very well. The bronze of Nataraja idols were commissioned by this king. And the Chola era bronzes are famed for this depiction. This, viewers, is Nataraja, Shiva dancing the Tandav. Now let's examine if the term Hindu existed before the Cholas appeared on the scene. Here are again some hard facts, viewers. Once again, let me tell you, viewers, that this is all easily very easily verifiable material. This is not fiction. The origin of the term Hindu. This is Speaking Tree, July 2014, and I have several other references. I'm just taking you through a panoply of them. Speaking Tree blog, Ganesh Nate wrote, July 2014, when the Persian king Darius I extended his empire up to the borders of the Indian subcontinent in 517 BC, before Christ, viewers. The ancient Persians referred to these people as Hindus. The ancient Greeks used to mispronounce the river Sindhu as Indos. When Alexander invaded, the Macedonian army referred to the river as Indus and the land east of the river as India. For Arabs, the land became Al-Hind. The Muslim rulers and travelers who came to India referred to the people who lived here as Hindus. The term Hindus, this is Harvard University's pluralism project. The reason I'm quoting Harvard, viewers, tonight and its pluralism project is that even the ecosystem that thinks that Harvard is the be end of all knowledge, the fount of all knowledge, even that Harvard says the term Hindus was first used by Greeks and the Persians to refer to people who reside beyond the Indus and Sindhu River. Again, there are references to Darius I. Hyun Sang, Chinese chronicler in the 7th century AD, what did he say? He said, India was anciently called Shintu, also Hian Tao. According to the right pronunciation, it is called Intu. Because all of this tells us that the term Hindu was very well known and the people living in our country at that time were therefore Hindus. The attempt, therefore, viewers, to dehumanize history is in line with the recent outpouring of hate against Hindus in Tamil Nadu, and we've been seeing this now over the last few months, and here on Times Now we've been doing these debates. A. Raja of the DMK said some horrible words. Vani Arasu of the VCK, a DMK ally, also insulted Hindus and the Sanatan. R. Rajiv Gandhi, DMK spokesperson, went even further. Let's have a look at those. Yes, there you can see them. This is Vani Arasu. We'll go to every village against Sanatan Dharma. There is almost now, forget Hindu phobia, Hindu misia, the hatred of Hindu. 3% of Brahmins are still dominating some areas. Shudra shouldn't suffer if they paid heed to Periyar. And there is this attempt to try and draw a differentiation. Book Krishna first, he was the forerunner of Polachi rapists. K. Veeramani, Dravida Kadagam leader, said in 2019. And there are many such, many such not so pleasant things being said, and I'm just being very understated here. But the facts, viewers, the facts that I just narrated, ask us to pose some questions that we need to ponder. Why are some trying to suggest that Hinduism or Hindus pose a threat to Tamil identity? Are the growing attacks on Hindus and Hinduism by a section of Tamil parties aimed at reviving regional sub-nationalism, which in the past, viewers, has been associated with separatism? What is going on here? Doesn't an identity based on nationalistic push undermine the unity in diversity plank underwritten by pretty much all the laws, the articles of our Constitution? By distorting history, are we in danger of erasing identity, which, as Martin Luther King said, is made by history? If you erase our history, viewers, we erase our identity, we erase our sense of self, who we are, etc. Let's open this up. We have a lot to talk about this evening, viewers. This is a very, very sensitive issue, but also very, very vital to who we are. If people are going to de-Hinduize some of us, a majority of us, where does that leave us? Dushyant Sridhar, Vedic scholar, joins us from Bengaluru. Let me first begin with him. Mr. Sridhar, what do you make of this? Is this an attempt at de-Hinduizing society to play some sort of political, regional identity politics? What is going on? Let's try to get him in also. Also, Dr. Anand Ranganathan, I want to get you into this. I also want to get Vikraman R, spokesperson of the VCK, who would perhaps agree with some of these views. Actually, let's set this up by getting in Mr. Vikraman R, spokesperson of the VCK, and Dr. V. Ponaraj, advisor to Kamal Hassan, who has made some statements, and Ovia, founder member of the Pudiyakuru. Let me get them all in. Let's first bring in Vikraman R. Mr. Vikraman R, I have just put down some facts. What is behind this attempt at de-Hinduization? Is it a design? How can Cholas who are Shiv Bhaks and Vaishnavites, etc., not be Hindus? Can you please explain this?
First of all, thank you for inviting me. Director Vetrimaran had rightly said Rajaraja Cholan was never a Hindu. Not just Rajaraja Cholan, even Shiva, Vishnu, they were all not Hindus. The Hindu term was never mentioned in any of the Sangam literature. It was not mentioned in Ramayana, Mahabharata. It was not mentioned anywhere. It was given by Britishers to this larger sect of community. And Tamils, we had 6 different sects, not just 6 different sects. We had multiple other sects like Saivam, Vainavam, Gaumaram, like lot of other sects also. So these have been appropriated by one particular thing called Hinduism, is what Dr. Vetrimaran has rightly said. And you have been showing some inscription referring Kundavai Nachiyar to an Alvar. It is just a name given to her. Alvar Parandaga Kundavai is her name. It is one of her names, because she was the daughter of Parandaga Cholan, number 2. So he had given that name. That doesn't mean she is a Vainavite. She had built lot of Shivan temples across Tamil Nadu, and her last few days were left to serve Saivam. So you cannot appropriate her life, and you cannot
so you're saying
negate
that
her life experience.
Vaishnavites are not Hindu. That's basically what we are being told here. Okay, let me bring in from the other side Uma Anandan, BJP councillor. Before I open this up to Dr. Ranganathan and other non-political players, let's first understand what is going on. Uma Anandan, why is the VCK, the DMK, etc. today de-Hinduizing even Rajaraja Cholan? What's going on here?
First, they don't want Hindus to be united. They have played to the gallery the last 60 years and divided the Hindus, saying that the Brahmins ill-treated you and they got away with all that nonsense. Now the Hindus have realized and we would like to come together. They don't want that to happen. I would like to ask Mr. Vikraman the question, and I don't know how Mr. Vikraman and Kamala Hassan are all, why should we give importance and have a discussion on this for all their blabberings just for the sake of controversies? I think we should put an end to have discussions like this on the various blabberings from people like this. Second, I would like to ask, the Chola princes were married to Chera kings. Cheras, you have the Ananta Padmanabha Swami temple. Was it an interreligious thing that they spoke? And we all respect the Mahabharata. There Krishna gives us his pearls of wisdom. Then Kunti and Bhishma and all, they are Shaivites, so they should have pushed out Krishna. What nonsense is all this? They don't want us, and I would like to ask, see, this is exactly what I told 2 years ago when Jyotika said, when she spoke about Rajaraja Chola. I said next they will say that he is not a Hindu king. Exactly that has happened. Next I would like to ask, 20 years ago we had a film called Thiruvilayadal, directed by Mr. A.P. Nagarajan. Why didn't all these so-called intellectuals raise that question? Mr. Kamal Hassan is elder to me by at least another three years or so. Why it didn't dawn on him that time that Shivaji was taking on Shaivite this thing, and A.P. Nagarajan was doing that, and Madurai is full of Thiruvilayadal of Shaivism. Why didn't he question that? When Thirumal Perumai came about the Alvars, why didn't he raise that Vaishnavism as a separate sect? Now in the last 20 years, they have realized that playing to the gallery has failed. They don't want the Tamil Hindus I would like to say that Indian Hindus, but because of this Dravidian thing, I'm using that. They don't want us to come together.
Okay,
They
so
want,
let's
they have
open
got
this up.
away all this 50 years
Okay,
by
you made your
dividing
point.
us
You
and
made your
feeding
point at
poison.
length.
Let's
Okay,
put
you
an
made
end
your
to
point.
this now.
Central point, they don't want the society to unite. They don't want society to go beyond the wounds of the past, the fault lines of the past. Maybe Uma Anandan will say that is what the BJP's project is in the state of Tamil Nadu, and that's what's making everybody a little jumpy. Is that's really what Uma Anandan is saying, BJP councillor? Okay.
BJP is
No, I would
immaterial
like
in
to
Tamil
ask.
Nadu. Rahul.
Did
Okay,
the Cholas
fine.
then?
I'm just saying.
See, I
I'm
would
just saying
like
that
to
is
ask.
that is what
Chola
she's saying.
princes were given in marriage to Cheras and Pandyas.
Okay.
Was it an interreligious marriage then?
Okay.
According to these people.
Was it an interreligious
What
marriage?
nonsense is that?
What was going
The
on?
Srirangam temple was funded by both the Pandyas and the Cholas. Ranganatha. What nonsense is this?
Okay, what nonsense she says. Don't bring your nonsense and pollute our history with
Yes.
nonsense. Okay, is it nonsense?
Yes, and
Let
we
me
should
bring
not
in, fair
discuss.
enough. Okay,
Don't call
Dr.
me anymore.
Ranganathan.
Don't call me anymore for panel discussions for the blabberings of these people.
Okay, don't call me, she says. Don't call me. I don't want to give any, absolutely no legitimacy to the blabberings of these people. But unfortunately, viewers, this entire group of DMK, etc., are in government. So it does represent a thinking. And, you know, there is such a charge against the BJP at the center that they're saffronizing education, this, that, the other. Just because they're in power, and this has come up even under Atal Bihari Vajpayee, who of course today is hailed by the woke as perhaps the most inclusive leader. But of course, you know, people have amnesia, short-term memories, but that's a different matter altogether. So if they're in government, it's quite possible that this will enter the textbooks next. So we need to ask these questions. And Dr. Ranganathan, where do you weigh in on this? Because you see, I posed this question, that is this an assault, you know, this business of erasing our identity, etc., etc.,
No,
this
Rahul,
de-Hinduization to undermine the unity in diversity. Yeah, one second, Mr. VCK.
No. How could you talk like this?
What are you
How could
getting upset
support
about?
One person in the debate. We have 6 panelists, out of which 4 are belonging to BJP and RSS ideology, including you. You have been saying that we are foolish people.
Okay, now, you know, look, Mr. Vikraman, if you can come out with a sound argument, then you do so. I don't know. I'm asking these questions. Is there an attempt to eviscerate our identity or not? These are questions which are legitimate. You don't want to ask them, Mr. Vikraman, go somewhere else. Go to another channel which you think is, you know, allied with X and Y in your government. Go there. Go there. Leave now. Leave now. Go there if you want. Go there, sir. Don't have to come. Please.
You should be
Calm down. Calm down. If you want to debate, come and debate. Have confidence in the facts that you put forth.
Decency.
Everyone is listening. No one has muted you. You are blabbering on and on. Don't make this about me and everything else. Okay, I'll cut you out of here. Please leave. Go away. Go to some other channel wherever you want to go. It's fine. Okay, Dr. Ranganathan, let's come in. Lower his fader. Yes, Dr. Ranganathan.
Good evening, Rahul. Look, let me be very clear. Kamal Hassan is the Rahul Gandhi who speaks Tamil. And just like Rahul Gandhi, Mr. Hassan is currently on a yatra. Logic chodo yatra. The only thing lower, unfortunately, than his credibility is his intelligence, which is surprising. Because him being a good actor, the least he could do is act intelligent, lekin wo bhi nahi ho raha. God knows. Sometimes I want to hold him by his upper arms and shake him up like Ishar Kaka did Lakha in Lagan and say, "Are aise kaise galti ho rahi hai beta?" Let me explain, Rahul. So according to Mr. Hassan, all the acts, the rituals, the practices, the gods and goddesses, the scriptures, the sects, Shaivites, Vaishnavites, Charvaks, that we have now come to understand as representing or coming under the umbrella of Hinduism, all of them were present for thousands of years and during the Chola Empire. But because the word Hinduism did not exist then, all these attributes and virtues also did not exist. So by the same logic, because the word gravity did not exist in the time of Brahmagupta 1000 years before Newton, Brahmagupta could not have discovered this force of nature and called it by another name. So humans weren't breathing before the word oxygen came into being. So the magnificent Brihadiswara temple is really a church built by Roger Charlie and is dedicated to Jesus Christ, our Lord and Savior. Hallelujah. 2. Now let me give Mr. Kamal Hassan and other ignoramuses of his ilk some history lesson on the Cholas. The Cholas, as long as their empire lasted, almost 1,000 years, wholly and totally believed in Sanatan Dharma, or what we call Hinduism now. They believed they were Suryavanshi, descendants of Lord Vishnu, who they said was their first king. They built all those glorious temples in the ode of Lord Shiva. So much for acrimony between Shaivites and Vaishnavites. Their Kul Devi is Nisumba Sudini or Durga. They spread Hinduism, its religious practices, its culture, music, scriptures, thousands of miles beyond India in all directions. Yes, they didn't call each other Hindus because they didn't know the word. But they were as much Hindus as any modern ones claim to be. Lastly, Rahul, as to another ridiculous argument of Mr. Hassan that Tamilians aren't Hindus. Well, would I be accused of body shaming if I comment on the pitiful size of his cranium? No one is revered more by us Tamilians than Lord Kartikeya or Muruka. And who is he? Son of Lord Shiva. And what did he do? He is said to have invented our language, protected our language. Tamilians won't exist without Tamil. And Tamil won't exist without Muruka, son of Shiva. And you know what Muruka means? Mu is Mukunda or Vishnu. Ru, Rudra or Shiva. And Ka, Kamala or Brahma. Now if this, the Trinity, isn't the core of Hinduism, I don't know what is. So Mr. Kamal Hassan, please replicate in the real life what was your role in the film Pushpak, a silent one.
Okay, let's bring in Ovia, founder, member of Pudya Kurul, and Dr. V. Ponraj, advisor to Kamal Hassan. Dr. V. Ponraj, since references have been made to Mr. Kamal Hassan and he is not here, would like you to respond. Doctor, I want you to just pay attention to this phrase.
Yes.
This phrase in a book by Hyun Sang in Buddhist Records of the Western World, Book 2. So what he says, the bright connected light of holy men and sages, guiding the world as the shining of the moon, have made this country eminent, and so it is called Into. That's what he has said, Into. This is what Hyun Sang wrote about India in the 7th century. Clearly the term Hindu existed. So Dr. V. Ponraj, how do you justify what Mr. Kamal Hassan is saying? That, since Hinduism, the word didn't exist, so Raja Cholan therefore was perhaps not a Hinduite.
The book which you are referring, the Hindu and other references which are existing today, which is all after the British Raja, and the Hindu may be Chinese and India had a long relationship. They also have the Sindhu has been termed as Hindu. So that's what everybody says. All the invaders and the British, those who crossed Sindhu, called all the religions practiced in India as Hindu religion.
Not all the religions, all the people, sir, all the people. It was a value neutral term. It was a secular term. All the people. Get your history right. At least quote them right, sir. You're murdering these poor people who are living on in history. Why are you doing this?
No. You are only doing that. I am only referring that whatever the people who practiced in India, all the people who are practicing the religion in India has different religions. As you know, Saivam, Vainavam, and Samanam, and Buddhism, and Sikhism, and all Kuladaiva Valibadu, all religions practiced. So when you are giving the name as Hindu, that is no problem. But you see, when it is politicized, when someone misuses the identity,
who?
Hindu as identity which belongs to BJP or RSS.
Dr. Ponraj,
that is the problem.
Who
that
politicizes?
Is the politicization.
Who politicizes?
When you identify and misuses,
but who?
BJP and RSS politicizes.
But Mani Ratnam is not a BJP member.
What? BJP and RSS politicizes.
But Mani Ratnam is not a BJP RSS member.
Mani Ratnam here. You are not.
Sir, this is what Mr. Vetrimaran has said.
What I am saying.
This is what, please listen to me. Please listen to me, sir. Let me read out the quote. This is Mr. Vetrimaran, a director. Yes. He is not an unknown personality. He says constantly our identities are being taken away from us, like showing Tiruvarul in saffron robe and showing Raja Cholan as Hindu king is constantly happening. This happens in cinema too. We should save these identities. Just because Dravidian movement took cinema, Tamil Nadu is still a secular state and has maturity to resist many external factors. So, you are accusing...
Can I ask him a question?
Yes, of course, Dr. Ranganathan. Please go ahead. Yes.
Good evening, Dr. Ponraj. I really respect you and what you do. Can I please ask you a very simple question, sir? If you don't mind.
You asked me, you have misrepresented many facts. Anyway, you asked me a question.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. What were, Dr. Ponraj, what were people breathing before the word oxygen was invented?
No, this is very irrelevant example, you know.
Have the
this
Hindu...
is very irrelevant example. What you are telling?
That's what I am telling.
How can you refer
Very total irrelevant question you are asking. How can you refer oxygen with the Hinduism?
Answer.
The religion is created or it is born. Who created religion?
No answer.
Mr. Author, who created this religion?
Whatever you want
It is created or it is
Who is
existed?
this Miss Ovia?
Who created?
Is she a doctor? Is she the advisor to Kamal Hassan? Is she Dr. Ponraj? Miss Ovia, are you Dr. Ponraj? Are you in any way related to him? I asked him a question. I didn't ask you a question.
Instead of asking you,
madam, I'll come to you. Let him answer. Doctor,
please,
let Dr. Ponraj
You asked
answer.
him a question after taking his permission. Had he said, no, don't ask, I wouldn't have asked. Isn't it true, Dr. Ponraj? You said, please ask a question, so I asked
Can
you a
you give
question.
any single reference?
Why didn't I?
Mr. Doctor, can you give me any single reference? Any single reference from the
Let me step in here, please. Miss Ovia, please, 1 minute. Dr. Ranganathan asked me and asked, one second, Dr. Ponraj a question with his permission. I allowed it. So let him respond. I think he's mature enough, intelligent enough to answer this question. He doesn't need help from you. This is not Kaun Banega Crorepati where you have to call a friend, dial a friend to get an answer. I will come to you, ma'am. You're there with us. Don't worry. We are not disappearing. We are debating this. This is primetime television. Dr. V. Ponraj is a bright man. He's been invited because he's a bright individual. Let him answer, please, for himself. I request you, please. Please.
And I repeat the direct question again. Just stick to the question, the good Dr. Ponraj. What did people breathe? What did people breathe before the word oxygen was invented? Just a simple, direct question.
Dr. Ranganathan, can I answer you with a simple another question?
No,
when the oxygen was existing, or see, can you tell me, is the human being taken birth? Can you give me an answer? When the oxygen was there in the world or in the earth, can you tell me the human being taken the birth?
Sorry, Rahul, could you?
Who created the religion? What is God created the religion or the man created the religion?
What is this?
Okay.
I'm a Darwinian atheist.
When the oxygen was
I'm a Darwinian
created,
atheist, Dr. Ponraj.
whether it is created by microorganisms, whether it is microorganisms or H2O,
I hope you believe in the theory of
man,
evolution.
human being existed or not? Tell me.
I hope you believe in the theory of evolution, sir.
If the human being existed, the religion took the birth after the human being.
Let's cut the comedy here. Let's cut the comedy. Let me come in. Let's cut the comedy. I get it. Let's cut the comedy. Let's get substantive again. Let's get substantive again. Let me bring in Miss Ovia, founder of member Puria Kurul, and also.
Give me some time to explain.
I don't know what you're explaining, sir. I'm confused. You're not answering the question. I don't know what you're getting at. I asked you a very simple question.
No. See,
how are people today claiming? I'm asking you a very simple, straightforward question. How is a Shiv Bhakt? Sir, how is a Shiv Bhakt not a Hindu? Can you just answer this question and let's get on with this debate?
Can I place my
Shiv
views
Bhakt,
here?
he is being treated as a Saivite, okay? He is not a Hindu. When there is a Saivite and Vainavite and other religions are there, when the government, if you assume that when they enact a law or when enact an act, when they differentiate Hindus differently. Those who follow Sanatana Dharma from Afghanistan, Pakistan and Bangladesh can be treated as citizenship as per CAA Act. And those who follow Saivite in Yalpanam, Sri Lanka cannot be treated as a citizen. Can you answer one question? When you enact a law to differentiate the Hindus who follow Sanatana Dharma is different from the Hindus who follow Saivite.
Simple question.
Then what is the question?
One second. Let me bring in Miss Ovia. Miss Ovia, let me ask you this question, please. Maybe Dr. Ponraj is having a problem here. Let me ask Miss Ovia. Miss Ovia, please, I want to come out to you. Look, it's a very straightforward question. Can you explain to me why? Please.
I don't have a problem.
Sir, 1 second, Dr. Saab, please. Can you explain to me, Miss Ovia, why you would say that Raja Cholan was not Hindu? Just very simply, he built temples, he was a Shiv Bhakt.
Simple answer that I need not explain much what you have already told. See, the term itself is not there. Please let me allow to speak fully.
Yeah, please.
The term, Betty Moran, a famous film director, he has his own views to express. Of course, Raja Cholan, even though we don't agree him as a Hindu, we take him as a Tamil king only. Somebody asked here, when his family members get married with a Chera or a Pandya, whether it is a intercaste marriage, that is the level of understanding on Tamil issue. They are all Tamils, and Raja Cholan was a Tamil king. But why this becomes an issue here? That is very important, because you are taking it up as a debate issue, isn't it? Vetrimaran, what he told, see, he is talking as a Tamil person. Okay, he is telling that Thiruvalluvar, our poet, and Raja Cholan, a Tamil king, was named as Hindus. The terms were not even prevalent in their times. They didn't know that. Please allow
let him finish. Let her complete, please.
The terms were not known to them. But why it is named after them today? So, as a Tamil person, as a Tamil personality, Vetrimaran claimed that we should not lose the identity of Tamil over those people. Whoever it may be, Valluvar or Raja Cholan or any Tamil renowned historical personalities or literature personalities, we should not lose the identity of Tamil towards the word Hindu. This is what the concern expressed by Vetrimaran, and when it was questioned to Kamala Hassan, he replied affirmatively.
Okay, so you're saying, so let me step in.
1 minute. Okay, all these things, why this concern has been raised in the country? Because if Hindu, the name Hindu or the Hinduism is restricted to the religious domain alone, there will be no question at all. But why these people are reacting in this way means the word is used as a political jargon. Okay, it is the people are all over in India, the people are asked to unite in the name of the word Hindu. So naturally the question comes, from where this word comes, how it represents all the people in India. Whereas the people in India
but madam, you want to unite everybody. Okay, so they are wanting to unite everyone as Hindus, but you want to unite again on identity basis, everyone is Tamil. So yes, are they mutually exclusive terms?
Own identity, and all the people are not coming from the single identity of the word Hindu or Hinduism. This is what the reality which we want to focus the people.
Okay. So you're saying that despite the fact, now let me step in. I understand what you're saying. So you're saying that we should not call everyone blanket Hindu. Of course we shouldn't. If they are Muslims, we shouldn't call them Hindu. That's what you're saying. If they are Christians, we shouldn't call them Hindu. But what about those people who worship?
No, I don't mean Christians or Muslims. I very clearly am telling the identity of Tamils. So we don't want to lose Raja Cholan or Thiruvalluvar or any other person.
So they are not Hindus.
Who are from
You're saying they didn't even know that they were Hindus, or there was a term called Hindu? Even though Harvard University's pluralism project says the term Hindu was first used by the Greeks and the Persians who came much before.
Rajaraja Chola didn't claim himself as Hindu in the history.
Okay.
This is a very simple fact.
Okay.
Why you are calling for a debate on this? This is a very open and shut case. This is a very
It's an open and shut case. Forget it, let's not debate it. Okay, Dr. Ranganathan wants to come in. I also want to bring in Vedic scholar Mr. Sridhar. Yes, 1 minute. Yes, Dr. Ranganathan, very quickly, 1 minute, madam.
Rajarajan's name.
Okay.
Please.
Very quick.
Rajarajan's name was Sivapada Sekaran. Thirumarai Kanda Cholan. What does it mean?
What is connection with
What
the
does
word
it mean?
Hindu?
Rahul,
Okay, let me bring in Dr. Anand Ranganathan. Yes, Dr. Ranganathan. Yes. Yeah.
Now, very quickly, 2 points before I'm interrupted. Rahul, first of all, on a lighter note, just because there are 5 Tamil panelists, I saw you nodding your head like that. Please don't. No, on the other thing, Rahul, you started your debate, which is a wonderful debate, by putting this premise: is this Hindu phobia or Hindu misia? And the previous panelist has proved you right. She is talking about Tamil identity, differentiating it from Hindu identity going back 1,000 years. This is nothing but Hindu phobia, because that is why I was at pains to explain that when they try to, disenfranchise, or you can call it dismantle Tamilians from Hindus, how will they explain that the Tamil language, according to even the High Court of Madras High Court, is that was invented by Lord Murugan, Kartikeyan? He was not Hindu.
No,
he was the son of Shiva. You are saying no, Shiva was not Hindu. Where will you take this? I will tell you where they will take this. Into the lap of their god Periyar, who said, if you see a snake or a Brahmin, kill the Brahmin first. These are the kind of deranged propagandists.
Okay, let me bring in Vedic scholar who hasn't spoken. Let me bring in, no, 1 second please. Let's also bring in Dushyant Sridhar. He hasn't spoken. He's from Bengaluru, and Dr. Ranganathan, I have half my family comes from Karnataka, so there is some south in me, so I'm very well acquainted with the sideways nod. But let me just go across to the Vedic scholar on our panel, Dushyant Sridhar. Mr. Sridhar, what do you make of this? Why is there an attempt to try and differentiate Tamils from Hindus? Obviously, I'm not talking about, Christian Tamils or Muslim Tamil. I'm talking about what we loosely now, I suppose, must call Hindu Tamils. I don't even know if I should now call them that, because it's become very confusing.
Namaskaram Rahul, and namaskaram to my fellow panelists. Primarily to the question that you have asked, the answer is when there is absolutely no education on the Tamil literature or in the Bhakti literature, this is what is bound to happen. So very quickly, whether it's Anand or you or anybody else in the panel who wants to identify with the kings, let's see what the Cholas wanted to identify themselves as. So the Cholas knew what the future would be, so they have left plenty of copper and stone inscriptions for us. So it could be Tiruvalangada inscriptions, it could be Ambasamudram inscriptions, and so on. In all these inscriptions, which is an admixture of both Sanskritam and Tamil, Chola Raja, especially Rajaraja Cholan, there was a Tulabharam and a Hiranyagarbha Vratam that was performed. This is in accordance to Vedas. So, if the king has identified himself as a person who follows the Vedas, then you should ask the counter question to the other panelists, I think Mr. Punraj, if he would agree with the Vedas, because Mr. Rajaraja Cholan, the greatest king, the Tamil king, he identifies himself with the Vedas. So, all these inscriptions, in fact, in the inscriptions, it is very, very clearly stated, right from Vishnu to Surya to Rama to Manu, the king, and then the Chola kings, they identify themselves in the lineage of Surya and Rama. So, what is the problem in identifying him as a Hindu? Because if at all they say that the word Hindu did not exist, for the kind information, in those days it was called Chola Desham. Pandya Desham. So I should be identifying myself as a Chola and not as a Tamil, because the word Tamil Nadu came into existence only after the states were formed. So this is absolutely a debate that doesn't deserve merit at all. One. Second thing is, even before Rajaraja Chola could come into existence, there is a line of the 6th century poet Thirumangai Alvar who states, Entol Isharku Kochenganan Tirkulattu Cholan Ezhuppiya Kovil. So there was a Shaivite king who was also patronizing Shaivism as well as Vaishnavism. So be it Shaivism, be it Vaishnavism, be it their worship to Devi, which is Shaktism, they all come under one umbrella. Yecha Vedavido Vipraha, Yecha Adhyatma Chetasaha, Tevadanti Mahatmanam Krishnam Dharmam Sanatanam. This is a line from Mahabharatam where the word Sanatana Dharma has a reference. There is a Manu Dharma Shastram which talks about Sanatana Dharma. Be it Sanatana Dharma or Hindu, the word that we identify with Sindhu or Hindu, which comes from the works of the Greek and then from the travelers from China. Hinduism, Sanatana Dharma and the Tamil culture are synonymous. I can give plenty of references for it, but if I give references, I think some of the panelists who were fighting about the Tamil identity will get lost, because as a person who has learnt the Nalayara Divya Prabandham called as the Tamil Vedam, I can take authority and say that all the Tamil kings who ruled Tamil Nadu and the Tamil regions were Hindus. They were Shaivites or Vaishnavites is their choice. There were two branches, there were many branches. In fact, Rajaraja Cholan's sister was patronizing Vaishnavism. We do hear of many Vinnagaram temples where she has patronized. So they were all Hindu kings, and if they try to showcase him as a person with a different identity, they are actually trying to showcase their ignorance. This is all I can say.
Rahul, 5 seconds.
Well, okay. Last few words. I need to move on. I think we've had pretty much the last words said by Dushyant Sridhar. Doctor.
Hello.
Absolutely. No, wonderful. I just wanted to ask again, Dr. Ponraj, you have Shias and you have Sunnis. So according to him, there are Shias and Sunnis but not Muslims.
Muslims.
Okay,
Hello.
Doctor.
Can I speak?
Yes, Doctor.
Hello?
Final words, please.
Can I
yes,
respond to
Dr.
that?
Ponraj. Go ahead.
Yeah. I will accept all are Hindus if you recognize the descendants of Rajaraja Chola, Arunmozhi Chola from Sri Lanka as Hindus, then and give citizenship, then I will accept as Hindus. Okay? Then if you all, those who opposed OBC reservation, 27% reservation, are all who opposed? They are all who opposed it? Tell me. Who opposed it? Those who follow Sanatana Dharma are all opposed the Sudras. The reservation given it for Sudras, OBCs. They are all Hindus only. If you don't differentiate, then we will accept everybody as Hindus. When Hindu itself uses an identity for a political gain or a vote bank politics, then we totally oppose that we are all Saivites and we Vaishnavites and we are Buddhist and we are Samanites. So when it is politicized, then everything will be politicized. Then I request the Vedic scholars no need to teach our Nalayana Divya Prabandha and our Tolgapiyam and all. You don't know to teach us. We know how to do it. We understand. We know the Vedas.
You are the advisor to Kamal Hassan. You have no political proclivities. You belong to a political party yourself, and you have a mission. So let's not try to today pretend that you are holier than thou. You are a politician in your own right, and tomorrow you are also looking to come to power, and so you are going to play to your vote bank, or you are going to try and create your own little constituency. It's fine. It's okay. Let's not today try to only suggest that one side is playing politics here. Yeah, okay. I understand. Okay, I'm leaving it at this, viewers. We've heard a Vedic scholar. He has quoted from the text. I leave it to you. If you're a Shaivite, if you're a Vaishnavite, you're not a Hindu. So stop thinking of yourselves as Hindus. I leave it to you. If that makes sense to you, go ahead, viewers. Agree with it. If it doesn't, it's completely your call. I brought all sides of the argument today onto the table. One gentleman, Mr. Vikraman, ran out of ideas and ran away from the debate. I don't know why. Everyone else has had their say. I move on, viewers. We need to go on to another big story. This story, viewers, has been exercising a huge number of people. after Congress leader Udit Raj stoked a massive controversy with his comments against President Murmu. The Congress leader took to Twitter and hurled chamcha or psychophancy bab at the president. Now remember viewers, we're not just talking about Draupadi Murmu, the person. She occupies the land's highest constitutional office, the president's post. And what Mr. Udit Raj seems to suggest is that she got there because she's a chamcha. Forgetting her qualifications, forgetting the fact that she has had to fight the worst forms of discrimination as a tribal, as an Adivasi. She has had to make, in her own words, take massive strides and cut through a lot of prejudice to make it to the top. And to say this, viewers, many people today are saying is a disservice. Let me open this up and ask some basic questions, but not before we hear the remarks of this Congress leader, Mr. Udit Raj. Listen in.
मैंने कहा कि आदिवासियों के बारे में, दलितों के बारे में कभी नहीं बोलती हैं, और मैंने यह भी कहा कि ये चमचागिरी ही है। तो उनकी एक पहचान राष्ट्रपति के तौर पर वहाँ मैं सम्मान करता हूँ, लेकिन जहाँ तक हमारे प्रतिनिधि हैं, हम उनसे सवाल करेंगे। हम अम्बेडकरवादी हैं, हम समाज की लड़ाई लड़ते हैं, हमारा अधिकार है करने का। दूसरा सवाल करता तो शायद हम उसके खिलाफ खड़े हो जाते, और द्रौपदी जी के लिए हम लड़ेंगे भी और उनसे सवाल भी करेंगे। तो इसको अनावश्यक रूप से कांग्रेस का बताना या इसको विवादित रूप से देखना यह गलत है।
Let's open this up. Let's ask some basic questions tonight. Does this constitute an insult? If so, why? Let me bring in the BJP national spokesperson first, Sanju Verma. Why do you believe that the Congress party owes an explanation that they need to take action against Mr. Udit Raj, who has also been flagged up by the NCW? Go ahead, very quickly.
You know, Rahul, first and foremost, I think let's be very clear that Udit Raj is a repeat offender. I remember, not so long back, he had posted a tweet mocking at Brahmins and, saying that Brahmins are like pigs, and he actually posted a tweet with a Janeyu on a pig. I don't even feel comfortable talking about this, and this man had the audacity to actually post this on his official Twitter handle. But my main point is this: why is it so difficult for the Congress and its lackeys to digest the fact that a tribal woman is the first president of independent India? Why is it so difficult for them to digest the fact that she's broken every glass ceiling and is only the second woman president after Pratibha Patil? Why is it so difficult for them to digest the fact that she's the first woman president born after 1947? The moot point is this: Udit Raj has said what he has to. We all know that he's a repeat offender, but my larger question is, has there been any condemnation from Rahul Gandhi? Has there been any condemnation from Ladki Ho, Lad Sakti Ho, which was made famous or infamous as it were by Priyanka Vadra? Has there been any official condemnation in the press by Jairam Ramesh, who otherwise has an opinion on everything under the sun? So the limited point is this, that the Congress actually directly or indirectly has been abetting and encouraging sexist behavior, and this is not the first time it has done so. Don't forget that today the Congress is in alliance with the JDU in Bihar, and none of us have forgotten that barely a few days after Draupadi Murmu taking over as the president, Tejasvi Yadav called her a gudiya. She's going to be a puppet at the hands of the Modi government, and I did not see any regret, any condemnation from any Congress biggie, much less so-called opposition leaders who otherwise, stand in solidarity with anything that has to do with women empowerment.
Okay.
So the last point is, will Jairam Ramesh condemn this diatribe by a close confidant?
Okay.
And I would just end by saying this: for those who say that Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao, is just being paid paid lip service to. Please note, 11 cabinet ministers is the highest that women have seen in terms of proportion in a cabinet post-independent India. And today as we speak, there are 8 cabinet ministers from the scheduled tribe community alone and more than 9 from the scheduled caste. So Dalits, Adivasis have been given ample opportunities.
Okay, let me just bring some facts onto the books. Okay, let me just bring some facts onto the books before I get in Lokesh Jindal of the Congress party to respond. In her first speech after she became president, President Murmu referred to 4 tribal revolts: the Santhal revolt against the East India Company, the Paika rebellion in Odisha, the Coal revolt against the British in 1831, the Bhil uprising against the British in 1813. She's also spoken about the condition of her community members in the country. Secondly, viewers, this is what Mr. Udit Raj says. No country should get a president like Murmuji. Chamchagiri also has its limits. Now, he's forgotten that she was actually elected. Her name was proposed, but then, viewers, in this country, an election takes place. The opposition propped up their own candidate. We all know who that candidate was. And viewers, a large number of Congress's allies also, and several opposition parties also backed her candidature. By that yardstick, Draupadi Murmu should be a chamcha of all these political parties, even those in the opposition, including the Congress's allies. So I think Udit Raj has forgotten this. And Mr. Jindal, let me just give you these facts. 126 MLAs in 18 states and 17 MPs actually cross-voted for Draupadi Murmu. Cross-voted. I hope you understand what that means. Maybe they were also, in some ways, taken up by the chamchagiri of Draupadi Murmu and not her message or what she stands for. They had no reasons to cross over, sir. 126 MLAs in 18 states and 17 MPs, and number of political parties, the JMM, etc., all came out in support of the BJD, came out in support. In fact, the BJD's chief and the chief minister of Odisha came out and said that the Prime Minister actually discussed her candidature with me, and I wholeheartedly endorsed it because she's deserving. So are we today, sir, suggesting that nobody from the Adivasi or Dalit community on their own merit can make it to these offices without sycophancy and chamchagiri? Number one. Number two, I just want you to see some photographs on your screen. Can you see Sonia Gandhi there paying a courtesy call to Miss Murmu? Did she also believe that Miss Murmu, Draupadi Murmu, our president, is a chamcha, and if so, why is she there? What are we saying? I think you're on mute. Please, Mr. Jindal.
Why are we linking a personal comment of somebody to that of the party's viewpoint?
Okay.
He has explicitly mentioned that it is his personal view and it has nothing to do with the party. I mean, look at BJP. Why is it so desperate so as to come out with some form of a issue to criticize Congress? It can do better.
Okay.
Now, if you are talking about Congress, Congress has always been committed to the cause of tribals. It was Nehru who gave the title of Rani to Gaidin Liu, the tribal leader from Nagaland. It was Congress who supported Schedule 5, Schedule 6, all forms of social and cultural protections to the tribals, which fixed for all forms of socio-economic and political rights for the tribals. So you cannot say that in any manner has Congress ignored the rights of the tribals or Congress has any form of ignorance towards the cause of the tribals.
So
no,
let me just remind you. Lokesh, 1 second, the 30 seconds. Lokesh Jindal, I just want to remind you that very recently, not one, not two, but 3 BJP politicians ended up saying things which were quite objectionable to the minorities in our country. And you demanded an apology from the entire BJP. You said this is their mindset, this is what they stand for. And the BJP then, under pressure or what have you, decided to act against these 3 leaders and they suspended or expelled them from the party. Why were you asking the entire BJP to apologize for, as you said, the personal comments made by a few leaders?
Because at that point of time, those
because at that point in time, it suited your narrative, right? You should take action against Udit Raj rather than sitting here and trying to create a justification.
Yes,
Nonetheless, let me very quickly, Sanju Verma, why are you making a big deal out of? Why are you making a big deal out of some personal comment by Udit Raj, a leader who is of no consequence, according to Lokesh Jindal?
Okay, I heard Lokesh Jindal, and I just quickly want to say one thing. Which Amit Shah said in April this year, when he was inaugurating a tribal function in Madhya Pradesh, that in its 10 years, the Congress-led UPA spent only 21,000 crore for the benefit of tribals. The Modi government in the last 5 years alone has spent 78,000 crore. And Rahul, your audience needs to know that there was the Forest Conservation Act of 1980 and the Forest Rules Act of 2006. And both of these were lopsided against tribals, and the Modi government amended the Forest Rights Act of 2006 to give ownership rights to indigenous communities and indigenous tribes.
Why are you misleading?
Okay. Let's stick to. Let me come back, viewers. I've run out of time. Okay, gentlemen.
Please do not mislead the audience.
Okay, don't mislead. Okay, fair enough. Let's just stop here. Let's just stop here.
Occupancy rights.
Okay, let's just stop here. 1 minute, lower everyone's faders. I need to make a quick intervention. I need to wrap up. Look, viewers, this is what Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary, leader of the Congress, said. Yes, we'll go to the Rashtrapati. No. Rashtrapatni, he said. This was before the election. The Shiv Sena, as I told you, the JMM, all Congress allies, viewers, all Congress allies have voted for Draupadi Murmu. And Yashwant Sinha said, the battle is now turned into a much bigger battle. This is about whether that person will use his or her rights to save the constitution after becoming president. It is obvious that a rubber stamp president will never try to do that. This was Yashwant Sinha. He was, of course, projected as the opposition candidate, and that became a fight in which he was not given a vote. Because perhaps this is that resentment. I don't know. I leave it at this. The news are coming up. Stories on the show tonight, viewers. Delhi Jal Board scam explodes. LG VK Saxena asks Chief Secretary to take immediate steps to clear all dues of Dalit workers engaged in cleaning sewer lines. Police arrested a man from Darbhanga who allegedly made threat calls to Reliance Industries chairman Mukesh Ambani's family. The cops have also recovered the mobile he used. Rouse Avenue Court remands Delhi Liquorgate accused Vijay Nair to 14 days judicial custody. CBI tells court that he can be sent to judicial custody and does not require further police custody. VRS political arrogance caught on camera. Minister Srinivas Gowd's supporters thrashed a man on stage for allegedly bursting firecrackers without minister's permission. CBI summons M. Shivashankar, former Principal Secretary to Kerala CM, to appear for interrogation in connection with the alleged corruption and irregularities in receiving foreign aid for the Life Mission housing project.
The most pressing issue, the most informed minds, free and fair exchange. Converse India with Rahul Shivshankar.
आपको सब फिल्म स्टार ही चाहिए मथुरा में।
नहीं हेमामान
कन्हैया जी ने भक्त चाहिए ही कल रात की सावन का बनना चाहेंगे उसको तो आप बनने नहीं देंगे। आप दिमाग में सबको ऐसा डाल के रखेंगे फिल्म स्टार ही बनेगा। आपको सब फिल्म स्टार ही चाहिए मथुरा में। नहीं हेमामान कन्हैया जी ने भक्त चाहिए ही कल रात की सावन का बहुत अच्छी बात है।
आपका क्या विचार है इस बार? आप
मेरा विचार क्या मैं बताऊं? मेरा विचार भगवान के ऊपर है। लॉर्ड कृष्णा विल डू इट।
मैं तो देश की सेवा के लिए ही पैदा हुई हूँ और मैं देश की सेवा करना चाहती हूँ। और क्यों नहीं, हमारे मोदी साहब, हमारे प्रधानमंत्री जी चाय बनाते बनाते प्रधानमंत्री जी पीएम बन सकते हैं, तो मैं बॉलीवुड में काम करते करते सीएम क्यों नहीं बन सकती हूँ? डेफिनेटली मैं बनूंगी, आप सबका आशीर्वाद चाहिए। तो 2024 में अब आप मुझे चुनाव लड़ते हुए देखेंगे, किसके अपोजिट, ये सरप्राइज है।
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Filmmaker Mani Ratnam's magnum opus Ponniyin Selvan, set in the backdrop of the Chola Empire, has run into a huge controversy. The film has been accused of saffronizing the Cholas. Dravidian filmmakers, actors, politicians now claim that the period drama that tells the life story of the Chola Emperor Raja Chola shows the king as a Hindu. From film director Vetrimaran to the DMK to Kamal Hassan now, it's being claimed that the term Hinduism didn't even exist during the reign of Raja Chola. During that era, and that a concerted attempt is being made to erase Tamil identity. Listen in.
இந்து மதங்கிற பேர் ராஜராஜ சோழன் காலத்தில் கிடையாதுங்க. அப்படி வைணவம்னு இருந்தது, சைவம்னு இருந்தது, சமணம்னு இருந்ததே தவிர அது வெள்ளக்காரங்க நமக்கு வச்ச பேர். என்ன சொல்றதுன்னு தெரியாம தூட்டுக்குறைன்னு சொன்ன மாதிரி தான். எல்லாரும் எங்களுக்கு மதங்கள் வெவ்வேறு இருந்தது. அதையெல்லாம் 8ஆம் நூற்றாண்டில் ஆதிசங்கரங்கிறவரு ஷண்மத ஸ்தாபனம்னு பண்றாரு. இதெல்லாம் சரித்திரம். அந்த சரித்திரத்தை இங்கே சொல்லக்கூடாது.
He is a Saivite king. You know, during those days there was a fight between Saivism and Vaishnavism. And Rajarajan built only Shiva temples, not Vaishnava temples. It was not there when Rajaraja was the king, because India was not there at the time. There were many kingdoms.
But the question is, any attempt to communalize anything, it is an anti-national action. Whoever tried to communalize any incident, that is anti-national.
ராஜராஜ சோழன் வந்து ஒரு இந்து அரசன் ஆகிறதா இருக்கட்டும், இப்படி தொடர்ந்து நடந்துகிட்டு இருக்கு. இது சினிமாவிலும் நடக்கும். சினிமாவிலும் நிறைய அடையாளங்களை வந்து எடுக்கிறாங்க. இந்த அடையாளங்களை நாம காப்பாத்திக்கணும்.
Ladies and gentlemen, even as a massive debate has now erupted over the king's identity, let's take you through some historical records that shed light on the truth about the Chola king's life. These inscriptions tell the Rajaraja's sister Kundavai refer to herself as Aswar, which is a Vaishnavite term for the most devout of Lord Vishnu's disciples. The Cholas built the Brihadeswar temple in Tanjavur, which was the largest building in India at that time during the Rajaraja Chola dynasty. All temples that were built during the Chola era strictly followed Hindu Agma Sastra. Even the artworks commissioned during the Chola era include the famous bronze Nataraja idol. Now, those questioning the existence of the word Hindu in the 9th century must also know that there are several examples and historical records that even show that the term Hindu has been in existence for a very, very long time, several centuries in fact. But time and again, these questions have been asked and attempts have been made to twist history. Let's now listen in to what the BJP has to say on the claims being made about the Chola dynasty and the lack of their Hindu identity.
There is systematic de-Hinduization taking place in Tamil Nadu. யாரோ வெற்றிமாறனா சிவனோட பக்தன் எந்த அளவுக்கு தன்னை சிவபாதசேகரன் என்று அழைத்து கொண்ட மாமன்னன் ராஜராஜ சோழன்.
Hinduism is not a religion, it's a way of life. The constitution says one who is not a Muslim, one who is not a Christian is a Hindu. So you have to make it as Shaivites, Vaishnavites are all Hindus. That's what we are saying.
So the legitimate question we are asking on the Newshour tonight, King Chola is Shaivite but not a Hindu. Is that the new definition? And is that right? That's the question we are asking. Chola Hindu debate. That's the hashtag and the debate coming up on the other side.
You're watching the News Hour at 9. Debate number 1 on Times Now. Super Prime Time.
Joining me on the debate, Sriram Seshadri, political analyst, Dr. Suman Sriraman, political analyst, Bhuvna Session, District Secretary and the Media and Communication of Kamal Hassan's party MNM. Also joining me tonight, Kevin Matthews, political analyst. But my first question goes to Rahul Ishwar, activist. Rahul Ishwar, Raja Chola, not a Hindu, is the latest verdict that's coming from some. I want to just ask you, all this that we read in our history, that Raja Chola ruled from 1985 to 1014, he was a Shaivite, and the fact that he was called Sivapada Sundaran, which means a man devoted to the feet of Shiva, and after a war, all the spoils of war is something that he kept at the feet of Shiva and only then, took to his kingdom. Now we are supposed to believe that if he believes in Shiva, then he is not a Hindu. Is that the new definition, and is this once again resurrecting a controversy out of nowhere?
1995, Brahmachari Sai was a state of West Bengal. Supreme Court quoted the former Chief Justice P.B. Gajendra Khadkar, who beautifully articulated that Hindu is a way of life. That's what Mahatma Gandhi, Swami Vivekananda all said. We are such a broad commonwealth of various tradition and culture, but it doesn't mean it can negate us. It doesn't mean nihilism. It doesn't mean we are not there. And it's rightly said, he's a Shaivite king, and there are Vaishnavites too. I belong to a path of Ayyappa, who joined both Shaivism and Vaishnavism. This is the beauty and diversity and harmony of Hindu faith. And Chola kings, or what is called in Tamil as Sola kings, are absolutely Hindus. They built temples, they worship natures, they had Pitru Puja, they had all the Hindu rituals. It's a crystal clear fact of history that they are Hindus. Second, with all due respect to the great legend Kamal Hassan, he is factually obviously wrong when he says Britishers gave us the Hindu name. The word Hindu has been in at least used for the past many centuries and at least 1,000 years, where the name Sindhu, our river, got transformed into Hapta Hindu for the Arabs and the ancient Iranians, and it got transformed into Indus for the Greeks. That's how from Sindhu, Hindu and India came. Our civilizational, cultural, spiritual, religious identity has been Hindu for many centuries altogether. Right now, to de-Hinduize, to be politically correct, to play to the pseudo-secular gallery has become a fashion, and de-Hinduization is absolutely wrong. Thiruvalluvar is Hindu. Even the great-grandfather of the Dravidian movement, his name is Periyar Ramaswamy Naikar. He might be against Brahmins, he might be against Ramayana, but even in his name there is Ramaswamy Naikar. So it is that much widespread. And one more thing, even the modern Tamil Nadu, the hotbed of the Dravidian movement, their official state logo is a temple. So, that much is Hindu culture spread. Right now, this is an artificial controversy. They want to attack the Hindu identity. And earlier, Kamal Hassan went on to say that Godse was a Hindu terrorist. See, if you want to associate anything good with a faith, associate Gandhiji, associate Vivekananda, associate Chera, Chola, Pandya, Pallavas. Why do you associate an extremist figure? So this is a calculated move. There is a deep-seated resentment against the Hindu culture in the pseudo-secular, pseudo-liberal galleries. They want to play for the gallery. They want to portray that they are progressive. This is pseudo-progressiveness and pseudo-secularism combined. It is unfortunate. It is coming from Sri Kamala Hassan, who himself is a Iyengar. Maybe he has, renounced his faith. I don't know. But at the same point of time, Cholas are Hindus. Cholas were Hindus. Cholas will always have that Hindu identity. That's the pride of Chola. And that identity is totally infused with the great Tamil culture too. There is no disharmony there. Both Tamil and Sanskrit belong to us.
Well, so let me ask Bhuvna Session. Bhuvna Session, a flurry of allegations, the most important of them being that is Kamala Hassan, are other people with him, pseudo-seculars who are carrying out a movement of de-Hinduization, which is, to some end that they want to do this. Why?
Okay, let me first clarify what he said. It has been totally taken. I'm not, just listen to me before you say that I'm giving excuses. It was taken out of context. Now first, what he said was history. Right? He did not deny the existence of Hinduism. He did not in any way belittle the religion. He just said the Hinduism per se. Yes, books had references of the word Hindu. Nobody is denying that. During the Rajaraja Cholan period, there was Saivism and Vaishnavism. They did not call it Hinduism. Then when Adi Shankara came and brought the sixth sect Shanmata Stapana, he did that. Everything came under the umbrella of Hinduism for an understanding. He did not deny the existence of, if you ask me, if a Saivite is a Hindu, yes, Saivite is a Hindu. Shiva is a Hindu god. Now what we are doing is, we're taking things out of context, number one. Second thing, Ponniyin Selvan is such a brilliant and exquisite piece of Tamil literature. Lot of filmmakers have tried to bring it on screen. Finally, somebody has succeeded. Instead of celebrating the piece of literature, instead of celebrating the brilliance on screen, we are taking references, innuendos out of context, and we're talking, whether who was a Hindu, who was not a Hindu. If Rajaraja Cholan, you ask me if he was a Saivite, yes. If you ask me if he was a Hindu, yes, he was a Hindu. Simple. He only mentioned that the word Hinduism was not there during there was only Saivism, Vaishnavism and other things, and then came the Shanmata principle. That's what he said.
So why are you going around in circles? Why are you going around in circles? Why is Mr. Kamal Hassan making a statement that the word Hindu does not exist at that time? It's a matter of detail that it did not exist, but Shaivism and Shaivites and Vaishnavites were followers.
That's what they were called. That's what they were called.
What is essentially the Hindu faith as we know it today. So I want to ask Sriram Sheshadri. I want to ask. Okay,
nobody is going around in circles.
Do you not agree with Bhuvna Session, or do you not agree with Rahul Ishwar? Where is your difference coming from?
No, Navika, first of all, let us make it very clear. What Bhuvna Session just said is not what Kamal Hassan said. Kamal Hassan agreed with Vetrimaran, the filmmaker, who actually said that they, quote unquote, they, presumably meaning right-wing forces in the country, are trying to erase Dravidian, symbols and call Rajaraja Cholan a Hindu king. So Kamal Hassan said, yes, he was not a Hindu. He never at any point I saw the interaction. He did not say, yes, Rajarajan was a Hindu king, but the word Hindu alone did not exist then. He said there was Shaivism, there was Vaishnavism, and there was Jainism, and one minute. So where is the question of agreeing, madam? Where is the question of agreeing with the director? Where is the question of agreeing with the director who said that the Hindu right-wing or quote-unquote Hindutva forces are trying to erase the Dravidian symbols and make Rajarajan a Hindu king? That was the statement of Mr. Vetrimaran. If Mr. Kamal Hassan is agreeing with that, then clearly that's not what you said just now.
Sumant Raman, I'm sorry to say, Kamal Hassan said that. He said that, and then I don't know if you saw the whole thing.
So, 1 minute, according to Kamal Hassan, Rajaraja Cholan was a Hindu king. Yes or no?
See, Rajaraja
Is that the official position?
Let me clearly say, he never denied of Hinduism. listen to me.
No. Let's not complicate this. Let's not complicate this, Bhuvna. The question is very small and very simple. Does Kamal Haasan believe that award-winning director Vetri Maran is right or wrong? Because Vetri Maran said that Raja Chola was not a Hindu king. Does Kamal Haasan agree with him or disagree with him?
Navika, clearly, when the reporter asked, Mr. Kamal Haasan said he did not tell me anything. I don't know. What did he say? Is what Mr. Kamal Haasan asked. So when the reference to Hindu Madam was given as per the religion, Islam was given, so Mr. Kamal Haasan said during Raja Chola's period, there was only Saivism, Vaishnavism, Buddhism and Jainism, etc., etc. And then Adi Shankara brought this, but then everything came under the umbrella of Hinduism.
So Sriram Seshadri, you know, the whole fact is not about what Kamal Haasan said or didn't say. The question is, there is the DMK, there is Vetri Maran, there is a whole section of people who believe that the Chola kingdom was not a Hindu kingdom and the Chola king, Raja Chola, was not actually a Hindu king. Now, is this right or is this wrong? When you say that Shaivites, Vaishnavites, Jains and Buddhists are the only people who survived, isn't it a manner of speaking that it wasn't Hinduism as we know it today? I want to ask you.
Good evening, Navika. I think Cholas probably are the biggest foreseers or prophetic because they knew that such things would happen and they have documented throughout their history several times in their copper inscriptions and in numerous documentation in the stone inscription, which was decoded by several historians like Sadashiv Pandaratar or Nilakanta Shastris decades ago. And the modern day Hindu religion, what we call today, according to Kamal Haasan and others, comprises of the 6 sects. Actually, Cholas belong to all the 6 sects because in all these inscriptions, they have called themselves as Suryavanshis, that they belong to worshippers of Surya. And then their first king was Mahavishnu, so they are Vaishnavites. And they built temples for Shiva, so they are Shaivites. Even Raja Chola is called as Shivapada Sekaran. Chola's family deity is a Nisimbasudini, form of a goddess Durga, so they are Shaktam. And Cholas built several temples for Lord Muruga and their war cry had always been Vetrivel Veeravel. So they follow Kaumaram and none of the initiatives happen without worship of Lord Ganapati. So they belong to Ganapatyam. In all these put together, they are all the 6 sects they have always been following. Today's definition of Hinduism as per the constitution, Hindu as per the constitution, they were actually following that. The problem with the Dravidian ecosystem is they had always set up a narrative that Tamils are not Hindus. Tamils are separate, the separatist mindset, and including the movie industry, Tamil Nadu movie industries, is filled with the leftism and the Dravidian thinking or ideology, where they are troubled by this turn of events. Even though Maniratnam, who is a leftist on his own, has never depicted a Shivlinga or a Shiva temple in this movie, showcased the king as belonging to the Shaivite sect, but still, you know, the ecosystem is rattled because they are all worried that, you know, now people will start reading about Raja Chola. Thousands of years back, Tamilians were following the Hindu faith. I think that is what is troubling the ecosystem and they want to create some controversies around that.
Well, you want to respond to that, Sumansi Raman, because let me also tell you why Kamal Haasan may not have been entirely right. Because the Persian king Darius extended his empire to the borders of Indian subcontinent in 517 BC, which is much before Raja Chola came in, and some of the people in the Indian subcontinent became part of his empire and army. So for a very long time, the ancient Persians referred to these people as Hindus. And this is an account in Persian King Darius's writings. So the word Hindus existed even then. So what is Mr. Kamal Haasan talking about?
No, he's factually, Narika, he is clearly incorrect. especially when he spoke about this British having, come up with the term Hinduism. Even if you ignore the Darius period, from the late 15th century, there are enough and more evidences that show that the term Hindu was in extensive use from at least the late 15th century. So that is definitely, way before the British came into India. So I think that we have to, respect Mr. Kamal Haasan as an actor, but that doesn't necessarily mean that a whole lot of what he says on other things have to be factually correct. And, to see this U-turn by Bhuvana Session on behalf of the party, there is clearly a U-turn. Madam, one question is, okay, answer my question. Officially, for the MNM, is Rajaraja Solan a Hindu king or not? Yes or no? Simple.
He is a Hindu king. Shaivism is a part of Hinduism.
But then, so then was Mr. Kamal Haasan, and no disrespect to him, he is a fantastic actor, no disrespect to him, but for him to say that the word Hindus did not exist before the British is also incorrect, ma'am. It's also incorrect because the Greeks, the Armenians and the Persian king Darius referred to the people who lived in India as Hindus. So where is this entire country?
Not exist. He said those days the Madam was not there, was what he said. There were references in books. He never said that there was no word Hindu. It was mispronounced by a lot of people, but then everybody knew what people were talking about. He never said that.
Rahul Ishwar, I don't understand Tamil. But what did Kamal Haasan say when he referred to the fact that the word Hinduism and the word Hindu actually came during the British?
He did not.
Can I be very honest, Navikaji? Can I be very honest? You know what he meant? He meant, I am a progressive secular politician of India. The right-wing forces are against me. I am against the right-wing forces. I want to score some brownie points. This is what he really said. Even though he said in different words, this is what he in effect said. I'm a huge fan of Kamal Haasan, the actor. But in reality, this is a misnomer. See, many leftists have a
one minute, allow me to bring in some order on this panel. Bhuvna, you'll have to calm down. You can't speak over everybody. You can't speak over everybody. I've invited Rahul Ishwar to make. Now, if Mr. Kamal Haasan has said something that stirred a honestness, then you better hear why the misinterpretation and the miscommunication has happened. Rahul Ishwar, make your point. And can I have Bhuvna and Rahul Ishwar on the screen, please?
And just one more submission. As a matter of fact, Adi Shankara, took his birth or happened by AD 800. The Cholas, what we presently known as the Punniyan Selvan are all after AD, 10th century or 11th century. So, there is no Shanmata happening after that. It was all before that. So, their whole chronology is a bit hazy, but so be it. The core point here is, don't de-Hinduize our faith. Don't de-Indianize. This is a leftist misimpression that India was only born in 1947 and there was no Hindu prior to the 19th century. This is an absolutely wrong impression. Shankaracharya, Chola, Chera, Pandya, Pallavas, they were all Hindus belonging to various sects. These belong to the common culture of India. And just one line. Navikaji, you are sitting in Bombay. I am sitting in Kerala. Sumanji might be sitting in Tamil Nadu. Kevin may be sitting in Bangalore. But are we not sitting in India? It is something like saying that you are sitting in different states, so there is no India. So India is a common collective name for all this. When you deny India, you deny our roots. In the same way, when you deny Hindu, you deny Shaivism, Vaishnavism, Shakteya, Ganapateya, Ayyappa, Muruga and every sect. So please don't do that. Happy to see that MNM is slightly walking back the comments. Hopefully they will see the Hindu element in themselves and Hindustan.
Well, let's not be unfair to Mr. Kamal Haasan. He is a good actor. He necessarily is not the best historian in the world, and so be it. But let me ask Kevin Matthews. Kevin Matthews, even Hyun Sang, the Buddhist Records of the Western World, Book 2 says, the bright connected light of holy men and sages guiding the world as the shining of the moon have made this country eminent, and so it is called Hindu. You know, this word or reference to Hindu, dates back to that period. So where is this misconception, or where is this de-Hinduization, as it is being called, coming from?
Yeah, Navika, let me come in here at this point. See, I agree that the word Hindu was in usage since centuries or a millennium ago, but there is a difference. Hindu, as a word used in that time, was to refer to a region, the people of a region. So the Hindus, the people of the Hindu, the Indus Valley civilization. This included also Mohammedans. This included also Christians. So it was to represent the people of a region. Today, Hinduism, or the word Hindu, is connected and referred to more of a religion and a way of life, unlike what was there in that period. So there is a difference. So there is a contextual.
No, quote. Why do you interpret it like that? That the Hindu is a religion today and wasn't a religion then. Shaivites, Vaishnavites were not part of the same Hindu religion as we know it today, and it was different before. How do you say that? Why do you say that?
So, Navika, then let me ask you this question. So, you are telling that the Mohammedans in India, the Christians in India, the Jainisms in India are all Hindus? Is that your point?
They were people.
Because the meaning of the words have changed.
Bhai, the majority was this country was also called Hind. The oceans near us were called the Hind Mahasagar. These are facts of history. These are facts of history. I only want to ask you, by saying that Raja Chola was not a Hindu, what is the meaning of that? I'm not saying Jains and Buddhists are Hindus. I'm not saying that. But I want to ask, what is the thought behind saying Raja Chola was not a Hindu?
Raja Chola was not a Hindu king. There's a difference. He was a Hindu of faith. You can call him as a Hindu of faith, as in what is Hindu religion is today. But he was not a Hindu king.
Okay. So faith and religion are two different things. Sriram Seshadri, I'm totally flummoxed. No. Maybe you can answer Kevin Matthews. He says the Hindu is a religion today and Hindu was a faith at that time during Raja Cholas. Do you understand the difference between the two?
I actually don't understand the difference between what Kevin Matthews says, that it is the faith and the religion are two different things. So does he say that Christianity is a religion, then believers of Christian is a Christianity? So I don't know what is the definition about. But I tell you, Navika, why this is being brought out. This is two aspects of it. One is a conversion ecosystem that is headed by misinterpreted writings by Sir William Jones had actually inspired the Dravidian ideologue like E.V. Ramaswamy Nayakar, who actually started this Dravidian ecosystem. They always maintained that Tamilians are not Hindus. For them to accept that Tamilians are Hindus means then they need to accept all the gods and all the rituals that they have been talking about. So the Dravidian ecosystem.
The Tamil identity is not associated with Hinduism. Tamil identity, the Tamilians also include Mohammedans and Christians.
That is a later part. That is later part. That is after not about 1,000 years back. When Raja Chola existed, where was a Mohammedan? When Raja Chola was a king, where was a Christian? No, they were not. And when Raja was there was no. Come on, get your history right, Mr. Kevin Matthews.
You get your history right.
When did the Mohammedans come to India? During Raja Chola period? Absolutely wrong. That's a historic. Even before Raja. I am astonished. That during the Raja kingdom.
Get your history right. You might probably do well with making up some
No.
Come on, Navika, now you have a panelist who say there weren't Christians and Muslims in this country before 10th century AD.
My friend, the only question that I want to ask you is, do you agree with Vetri Maran, who says Raja Chola was not a Hindu king? Yes or no? Do you agree with him or you disagree with him?
I agree with him.
You agree with him?
Agree with him.
Why do you agree with him? if he was the worshipper of Lord Shiva, if he was building temples, and there are many temples that have been built which are visited even today, if they were built in his tenure and during
Navika, let me
the
ask you a
Chola
question.
dynasty,
Navika,
how can you say
Navika.
that he was not a Hindu?
Navika, let me ask you a question. Is Joe Biden a Christian president or is Joe Biden the president of America? You answer me this simple question.
Semantic fight.
No.
So just answer me this question. Is Joe Biden a Christian president or is Joe Biden the president of America?
Well, I can both. You know, Rahul Ishwar, you know, he agrees with Vetri Maran, but he doesn't have facts to support the argument that he's making.
That's the issue of this. Because these people, I respect Kevin as but these people have an inherent agenda to de-Hinduize and point that there is no Hindu identity. What I am showing is official Tamil Nadu logo. This is, you know, some people say it is Sri Villibattur, some people say it is Madhura Meenakshi, but this is a temple. Even Tamil Nadu state logo has a Hindu temple in it. Now they will say it is not a Hindu temple, they will say it is a Tamil Nadu temple. You call by any other name, rose will always smell as sweet. So please remember, this is a Hindu civilizational thing, and Tamils are some of the ancient most Hindus in the world. Our PM Modi ji rightly pointed out that Tamil is older than Sanskrit. We had a very vibrant Tamil civilization here. So Tamil people are essentially one of the earliest inheritors of this great Hindu civilization, and we are proud of it. I am proud to be a Dravidian person or a person belonging to the south of India, where we celebrate, you know, many things. So please remember this de-Hinduization, saying Hindu is wrong, don't use the word Hindu, it will become communal. The word Hindu itself is problematic. These kind of aspects are an aspects of coordinated de-Hinduization by center left and left liberals, because they are afraid of the word Hindu. They have an intellectual Hindu phobia.
Suman Siraman, is it part of the liberal ecosystem to call these things like the temples during the Chola regime as non-Hindu? And then because Hindu has a communal tinge to it. Is this a new attempt?
No, I think it is part of the Dravidian ecosystem, which has pretty much rewritten history of Tamil Nadu. And they have done this rewriting of history over the last 80 to 100 years, where, you know, what has existed as Tamil culture for centuries, which has been strongly associated with the Hindu religion, have been systematically erased. I'll give you another example. Thiruvalluvar, the great poet who wrote the Tirukkural. In Tirukkural, there are almost half a dozen references to Hindu gods. And now they say, no, Thiruvalluvar was secular. So in the 1960s, the earlier pictures or the, whatever paintings that they used to have of Thiruvalluvar used to be having him with the, sacred ash on his forehead and with a janeyu and so on. Now that was deemed to be quote unquote offensive. And therefore the Dravidian movement governments decided to prepare a sanitized version of Thiruvalluvar to fit in with what they wanted to feel was a secular identity for him.
So the long and short, Suman Siraman, where do you stand? Where do you stand on this issue?
Look, you can only hide things up to a point. Kamal Haasan may be a great actor, and I am a huge fan of Kamal Haasan, but unfortunately, sometimes he lets his enthusiasm for rationalism, quote, Dravidian politics, run away with him, and that's also one reason why he has not been able to make much of an impact in politics. And anyway, I'm glad that Bhuvana Seshan, on behalf of the MNM, has pulled back from the damage that Mr. Kamal Haasan caused this morning with the state.
I'm sorry. The damage was not caused by Mr. Kamal Haasan, but the damage was caused by people who had an agenda. Okay, so there are some people who are just waiting for Mr. Kamal Haasan to say something, pull something out, and let me just say one thing, which I feel from the bottom of my heart. Like I said in the beginning, Ponniyin Selvan is such an exquisite piece of Tamil literature. We see it on screen today. I'm so happy to know that a lot of youngsters are going back to reading. While the reading habit is dying, I'm seeing a lot of youngsters going back and trying to read Ponniyin Selvan to understand, so that before the part 2 comes, they can be equipped with some kind of knowledge. It's so refreshing to see all that. Instead of celebrating that, instead of celebrating an achievement which a lot of film directors could not make, instead of celebrating a visual perception, that is Mr. Maniratnam's perception. When I read Ponniyin Selvan, I had my perception of each character. Similarly, he has his perception. Whatever it is, there is a love for that literature, love for that piece of literature. Now you say Kamal Haasan is a very good actor. Thank you very much for acknowledging that as an
But
actor,
where has been,
as a filmmaker,
where has
as
there
a
been a
filmmaker,
debate on
he
that
would
issue,
never, he would
Bhuvna?
never-
I'm sorry. Let's not be patronizing. There has been never any issue on Mr. Kamal Haasan's prowess as an actor. But Bhuvna, if people in North India were misunderstanding what Mr. Kamal Haasan had said in Tamil, I would have thought there is loss in transmission because the languages are different. But if Tamilians themselves are not being able to fathom what Mr. Kamal Haasan was saying, then my friend, Mr. Kamal Haasan, who is supposed to be a communicator as an actor and a award-winning actor at that, awards at several levels, then my friend, there is a problem in that communication and that needs to be addressed. But the issue is not only about Kamal Haasan. The issue is about other people in the South. Issue is about the VCK, the issue is about the DMK, the issue is also about Vetri Maran, the director who's won several national awards, the man who says that Rajaraja Chola was not a Hindu. Why is this de-Hinduization taking place? I don't know. But I can also quote to you, and this is written from a paper in the South, the New Indian Express. The Cholas were patrons of Vedic education. Now, can anybody be a patron of Vedic education? Can anybody not be a Hindu and build temples? Can anybody be called what Rajaraja Chola was called, and he was called Shivapada Sundaran, the man who was at the feet of Shiva, and still be called a non-Hindu? Is this a manufactured controversy by an ecosystem that is allergic to the term Hindu itself? Why? Why? That's the question we are asking. Thank you very much to my panelists for joining me on debate number 1. On the other side, another shocking example of insulting the president. A shocking statement was made by Congress leader Udit Raj today. The man is not new to controversies, but today he crossed the line by insulting the highest constitutional post in the country, the President of India. The Congress leader called the president a chamcha, a dumb and a deaf president. He said that no country should get a president like Draupadi Murmu. Let's listen in.
मैंने कहा कि आदिवासियों के बारे में, दलितों के बारे में कभी नहीं बोलती हैं, और मैंने यह भी कहा कि ये चमचागिरी ही है। तो उनकी एक पहचान राष्ट्रपति के तौर पर वहाँ मैं सम्मान करता हूँ, लेकिन जहाँ तक हमारे प्रतिनिधि हैं, हम उनसे सवाल करेंगे। हम अम्बेडकरवादी हैं, हम समाज की लड़ाई लड़ते हैं, हमारा अधिकार है करने का। दूसरा सवाल करता तो शायद हम उसके खिलाफ खड़े हो जाते, और द्रौपदी जी के लिए हम लड़ेंगे भी और उनसे सवाल भी करेंगे। तो इसको अनावश्यक रूप से कांग्रेस का बताना या इसको विवादित रूप से देखना यह गलत है।
Now, ladies and gentlemen, there is no excuse for what Udit Raj said about the president. And also, it's not the first time he's made such a remark for the president, or even in the past for the former president Kovind. This time, the unprovoked Udit Raj has stated that Gujarat produces 76% of the country's salt, and that सब देशवासी गुजरात का नमक खाते हैं. And this is the sentence of the president that he has taken objection to. Just this, and the Congress Neta brazenly took a dig at the president, calling her a chamcha. Well, the Congress leader's crass comment on President Murmu has the BJP fuming. The BJP has said that this has exposed the anti-tribal mindset of the Congress.
आज उदित राज जी जो कांग्रेस के नेता है, जिस प्रकार के शब्दों का प्रयोग उन्होंने महामहिम राष्ट्रपति आदरणीय द्रौपदी मुर्मू जी के लिए किया है, वो चिंताजनक और दुखद है, अशोभनीय है.
Congress party has crossed all limits yet again by insulting and by taunting President Draupadi Murmu when its national spokesperson and senior leader Udit Raj has used words for Draupadi Murmu ji that can't be repeated. But this is not the first time, nor is it a coincidence. This is the real Chal Charitra Chehra of the Congress party.
बहुत ही शर्मनाक बयान है उदित राज जी का. द्रौपदी मुर्मू चुनाव जीतकर राष्ट्रपति बनी, वो प्रजातांत्रिक व्यवस्था का अपमान कर रहे हैं. वो एक आदिवासी महिला का अपमान कर रहे हैं. उनको सारे देश से कान पकड़कर माफी मांगनी चाहिए.
So the legitimate question we are asking on the Newshour tonight. Sonia Gandhi met Murmu with a bouquet and bowed in front of the president. Why does she allow her netas to berate the president now? That's the question, and that's the debate coming up on the other side. President insulted. The debate coming up.
Number 2 on Times Now, Super Prime Time.
Joining me tonight, Guru Prakash, national spokesperson of the BJP, Gargi Nandi Roy, political analyst, Tehseen Poonawala, political analyst. But my first question goes to Vivek Bansal, member of the Congress Working Committee. Vivek Bansal ji, I want to ask you, is it a habit with congressmen to take digs at the president? Because it started with Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary, who called her Rashtrapatni. Then there was Ajay Kumar, who said she comes with an evil mindset. And now Udit Raj, who calls her a chamcha. I want to ask you, what is wrong with stating facts as they are? Because Gujarat does produce 76% of the country's namak, and namak is a very important part of our culture. हम जिसका नमक खाते हैं उसके साथ वफादारी करते हैं, ये मुहावरा है. अब इसमें क्या दिक्कत है किसी को? And why does the Congress party not take a position and actually pull up some of their leaders, even if they speak like this in their personal capacity?
Well, I would, you have a very relevant point to raise as far as Mr. Udit Raj's statement. I think at the moment we confine ourselves to his statement only. I would not like to go back to what the other person said. But
losing your losing your audio. We'll connect again. I'm passing the question to Tehseen Poonawala. Tehseen Poonawala, is that something that can be defended?
Well, the Congress has never ever defended anything that's wrong. And if you think that Udit Raj's statement is wrong, which I think it is wrong, it should be condemned. But I today dare Guru Prakash sir on your show to condemn Modi ji when he said that cleaning manual scavenging is a spiritual experience. He insulted our SC citizens. I dare Guru Prakash ji to say Modi ji said 50 crore ki vidwa for my friend Shashi Tharoor's wife, for Sonia Gandhi ji, condemn that. And he said 50 crore ki girlfriend for my friend Shashi Tharoor's wife, to condemn that. Congress ki vidwa for Sonia ji, condemn that. I am condemning Udit Raj ji if you want, but can you condemn Narendra Modi ji? The BJP is anti-women, anti-Dalit, anti-tribal,
anti-Dalit, have to have a corollary? Tehseen Poonawala, all right, you've raised this point several times on several debates. Why do you want to get into diversionary tactics? Why does any condemnation of Udit Raj have to be accompanied by condemnations of उसने ये किया था तो अगर उदित राज ने किया, does that make his error of judgment any less? No. I'm asking you, can you condemn this unequivocally? What
the
Udit Raj
BJP is anti-women, anti-SC, anti-OBC. The RSS has never had an SC-OBC
So
chief.
why has the
BJP has never had a woman
Congress, why
chief. They are
has
not
the
passing the women
Congress
reservation
not
bill.
pulled him up? Why has the Congress not issued a statement? Why?
Because he said something in his personal capacity.
Oh,
just like
he's
VK
a national
Singh said.
spokesperson, my
Just
friend.
like VK
He's
Singh
a national
said,
spokesperson.
just like
Do
VK Singh
spokespersons
said,
have a
compared
personal
Dalit
capacity?
children to
Guru
dogs.
Prakash,
Is that right? Was
Guru
that right?
Prakash, do spokespersons have a personal capacity?
They do. If VK Singh can have, if Amit Shah can have, so can Udit Raj.
Navika ji, I think the question was addressed to me. Tehseen ji,
I'm so sorry.
I'm
I'm so sorry.
Navika ji, we must understand. Navika ji, Tehseen ji, I think it's my turn. Yeah, thank you so much. Navika ji, we must understand that there is a deep-seated feudal and elitist mindset of the Congress party. This is not the first time the Congress party and its senior leadership have insulted the women from the marginalized community. Have you forgotten what the former Chief Minister of Madhya Pradesh, Kamal Nath, said for a Dalit woman of the Congress party, Imarti Devi? Item girl, have you forgotten that? There is a deep-seated feudal and elitist mindset of the Congress party. The Congress party and the establishment, they refuse to believe that for the first time in our history, we have a woman from the Adivasi Samaj as the constitutional head of our country. पहली बार देश के इतिहास में एक आदिवासी समाज की महिला संविधान के सर्वोच्च स्थान पे पहुंचती है और आप लोगों को इसे पचाने में समस्या होती है. This is not the first time the Congress party has insulted the Dalits and tribals of the country. I did not speak, Navika ji, I did not speak when you were speaking. Let's have a decent debate. Let us have a decent debate. Tehseen, I did not speak when you were speaking.
Tehseen Poonawala, when you speak, you don't like anybody intervening. So when somebody else is speaking, just follow the same courtesy that you yourself like.
Just answer one question. Why has no woman become BJP president? When are they passing women reservation?
Then
give us lectures on
why
women.
don't you answer? Why don't you answer one question, Tehseen Poonawala? Considering that you're so glib and brazen, why don't you answer? Is it a coincidence that in the last 3 months, 3 senior leaders of the Congress party have actually insulted the president and this President Murmu? In the 4 months she's been president. First it was Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary, Rashtrapatni, and then it was Ajay Kumar, and then now Udit Raj. Is it a coincidence, Tehseen Poonawala? Is it?
Is it a coincidence no woman is BJP president? They have not passed the women reservation bill despite having a majority.
Do not respond.
They will not give lectures on women.
Do not
BJP
respond to
will
a
not give lectures
question.
on
My
women.
friend, I do not represent the BJP. You can ask that question of the BJP. I am asking you a question. Do you have a response to the question I am asking you? Answer the question as I am asking you. I am anchoring the show. I do not represent the BJP. You can ask the question of the BJP. Answer the question I said.
They made personal comments like VK Singh compared Dalit children to dogs. It was
You
a
don't have
personal
a
but ridiculous
response.
comment.
So
Of course it is.
Gargi Nandi Roy, he doesn't have a response. He just doesn't have an answer other than whataboutery.
Navika
Yes, whataboutery.
Navika ji,
Right. Navika ji, thank you for inviting me. I think what is happening, if you are asking a question of maths, the Congress person is coming with the answer of geography or history and bringing whatever examples. Please, Tehseen, please. He is a nice person. He has to defend the indefensible. He has a difficult job. And coming to Udit Raj, Navika ji, he is a repeat offender, and obviously what Guru Prasad ji says not only reflects elitist or misogynistic mindset. I think this person, Udit Raj, is filled with hatred, and that is because of his frustration that he has been venting out since 2019 when he did not get the ticket from BJP. Let me remind that when he got the ticket from BJP in 2014, you know what did he say? That BJP is more sympathetic to the SC, ST and Dalits have a brighter future. And when he was refused the ticket in 2019, he said BJP is against the Dalit interest. So this shows how opportunistic this person is. It is unfortunate that Congress has made him the spokesperson and Congress party, not Tehseen Poonawala. Tehseen Poonawala does not belong to the Congress party officially. So officially the Congress party, the president of the Congress party, they should condemn this person and remove him from the spokesperson's position.
Fair point, Gargi Nandi Roy. So let me get in Mr. Bansal. Mr. Bansal, we lost your connection earlier there, and my question to you is: today I saw a very touching picture. 1 minute, Gargi ji. short on time on this debate, but Vivek Bansalji, I saw a very touching picture of Sonia Gandhi going there and tying the shoelaces of the mother was Rahul Gandhi. And there was a tweet that was put out by the Congress party calling, it was just titled Ma. I was very touched that here's a politician, in the running for 2 elections as the prime ministerial candidate and wasn't embarrassed at all to bend down and tie the shoelaces of his mother, and the caption was very nice, Ma. So Sonia Gandhi Ma or Murmu Chamcha. I want to ask you, is respect only for the Gandhis and not for the President of India?
Yeah, I would, Navika ji, you have, as I said, I started with it, you have a very relevant question to ask. As far as Mr. Udit Raj's statement and whatever he said, the remark was disparaging definitely. And he has no business, let me tell you. Since she being the President of this country, Honorable President of this country, she's to be respected by everybody, cutting across party lines. Till the time she's adorning this seat, she's respectful to all the citizens and politicians of all hues. So here I have my reservations. He should have refrained from such.
And should the Congress party take action against him because they haven't even issued a statement saying that they do not agree?
No. It may take some time.
Why? Why?
No.
Because आपके नेता रोज ट्वीट करते हैं, इसमें टाइम क्यों लग रहा है? When you have to abuse the Prime Minister, when you have to call him गंदी नाली का कीड़ा, when you have to call him चाय वाला, तब तो टाइम नहीं लगता. अब प्रेसिडेंट के लिए ये वर्ड यूज हुए हैं तो बड़ा टाइम लग रहा है आपको.
जब आप प्राइम मिनिस्टर डॉक्टर मनमोहन सिंह के लिए यूज की, हमारे जो इस समय ऑनरेबल प्राइम मिनिस्टर यूज टू,
उसको भी कंडेम करते हैं, उसको भी कंडेम किया जाता है, लेकिन आप लोग उसको कंडेम करने में तो टाइम नहीं लगाते. तो प्रेसिडेंट के खिलाफ अगर ऐसा बोला जाता है तो इतना टाइम क्यों लगता है? माय क्वेश्चन इज, व्हाई इज द कांग्रेस पार्टी टेकिंग सो मच टाइम, एंड इज इट अ कोइंसिडेंस? Is it a coincidence that 3 people?
This statement should not have come from.
But 3 people. Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary, leader of the opposition.
Adhir Ranjan said that it was slip of the tongue and he apologized.
How convenient. Acha, and Dr. Ajoy Kumar? Dr. Ajoy Kumar?
I just saw that statement. I'm not aware about that. But as far as Adhir Ranjan is concerned, he apologized to the nation and our Honorable Prime Minister. We all were.
Guru Prakash, it's a mistake, and let's end the story there. The Congress says Adhir Ranjan galti, Ajay Kumar, they have not seen the bite, and Udit Raj out of line. Personal remark. Where do you stand?
Yashwant Sinha, Gungi Gudiya, where do we stand? Tejasvi Yadav, Murthy, where do we stand? It has been 75 years, Navika ji. Congress party and its establishment has to accept that the marginalized have come to the mainstream. Please accept that a humble chaiwala can become the Prime Minister of our country. Please accept that an Adivasi ki beti can become the President of our country. Please accept they no longer exist or elitist feudal establishment anymore. Please accept that the subaltern, the marginalized, the backward, the vanchit, the dalit, the soshit and the peedit have now come to the mainstream. It has taken us more than 70 years, but please accept that ultimately we have arrived and we are here to stay, no matter what happens.
And please accept, no disparaging anybody, but Gujarat se itna problem kyun hai Udit Raj ko? Isn't it true? Mahatma Gandhi started his Dandi March as the salt satyagrah in Gujarat itself. There is a symbolism, and the mention of namak in Gujarat causes so much pain to Mr. Udit Raj. Why? What will he do when he hears that 62% of the country's petrochemicals come from Gujarat? 80% of the country's diamonds come from Gujarat. 25% of the country's milk comes from Gujarat. What will he do? Because the state is doing well. Similarly, as Chhattisgarh is doing well in production of food grains, especially rice. Should we also begin to thinking on which state is ruled by which government and which political party? Is that what it's all about? That's the question. Thank you very much to all my panelists, and thank you viewers for joining me on the Newshour tonight. Good night, be safe.
You were watching the Newshour at 9. Stay tuned.
For decision makers, for the opinionated, for the unsure, for dinner time debaters, from metro stations to living rooms.
We present the facts and help India make a judgment. From stories that shake the nation to opinions that shape them. I delve deep into the biggest news of the day and uncover every fact, every source, and every statement through debate and discussion. Get a 360-degree perspective on every story and get a conclusive closure. Join me, Navika Kumar, on the Newshour at 9, only on Times Now.
The Newshour at 9.
Delhi Jal Board scam explodes. LG VK Saxena asks Chief Secretary to take immediate steps to clear all dues of Dalit workers engaged in cleaning sewer lines.
You were watching the Newshour at 9. Stay tuned.
welcome. You're watching the Newshour Agenda. I'm Padmaja Joshi. The film Ponniyin Selvan is making waves across India, and not just because of its beauty and scale, but for addressing an oft-held belief that because of the increased focus on Mughal kings in our readings of history, in our popular culture, their exploits, Indian kings like the Cholas were sidelined and not represented enough. Now that people across the country are watching, discussing and wanting to learn more about the Cholas because of Ponniyin Selvan, comes the twist. It started with filmmaker Vetrimaran saying that Rajaraja Chola could not be considered Hindu because there was no Hinduism at that time. Soon after, voices like that of VCK chief Tirumavalavan and actor Kamal Haasan also joined in. The argument given was that Shaivites and Vaishnavites, which is what the Cholas were, are not Hindus. Just like even Lingayats, as of today, claim a separate identity from the Hindu religion. So to foist a Hindu identity on the Cholas is about cultural politics. In fact, Vetrimaran even said that the Chola controversy was reminiscent of the episode where Tiruvalluvar was shown in saffron clothes by the BJP. He said that this is part of a larger saffron project of rewriting history and taking traditional symbols away from the Tamils.
இந்து மதங்கிற பேர் ராஜராஜ சோழன் காலத்தில் கிடையாதுங்க. அப்படி வைணவம்னு இருந்தது, சைவம்னு இருந்தது, சமணம்னு இருந்ததே தவிர அது வெள்ளக்காரங்க நமக்கு வச்ச பேர். என்ன சொல்றதுன்னு தெரியாம தூட்டுக்குறைன்னு சொன்ன மாதிரி தான் அது. எல்லாரும் எங்களுக்கு மதங்கள் வெவ்வேறு இருந்தது. அதையெல்லாம் 8ஆம் நூற்றாண்டில் ஆதிசங்கரங்கிறவரு ஷண்மத ஸ்தாபனம்னு பண்றாரு. இதெல்லாம் சரித்திரம். அந்த சரித்திரத்தை இங்கே சொல்லக்கூடாது.
He is a Shaivite king. You know, during those days there was a fight between Shaivism and Vaishnavism. And the Rajarajan built only Shiva temples, not Vaishnava temples. It was not there when Rajaraja was the king, because India was not there at the time. There were many kingdoms.
But the question is, any attempt to communalize anything, it is an anti-national action. Whoever tried to communalize any incident, that is anti-national.
ராஜராஜ சோழன் வந்து ஒரு இந்து அரசன் ஆகிறதா இருக்கட்டும், இப்படி தொடர்ந்து நடந்துகிட்டு இருக்கு. இது சினிமாவிலும் நடக்கும். சினிமாவிலும் நிறைய அடையாளங்களை வந்து எடுக்கிறாங்க. இந்த அடையாளங்களை நாம காப்பாத்திக்கணும்.
Now the strange thing is that this assertion is being made even as the Chola King, and this is a part of documented history, built multiple temples. Multiple texts refer to the king and his family as devout worshippers of Lord Shiva and Vishnu. Then is there any ground to divorce their Shiv worshipper identity from their Hindu identity?
You're watching the News Hour at 10. Debate number 1 on Times Now. Super Prime Time.
So what really is the genesis of this entire controversy, and does it have any substance to it? Somebody who is from the creative industry, actor Khushbu, is joining us, and more importantly also as a movie watcher and a critic, because she's been watching the film as well. Khushbu, thanks very much for speaking to us. I want to start by asking you a very fundamental question. Most people are upset that Rajaraja Chola is shown as a Hindu king. So first up, how does the film show him as a Hindu king?
It doesn't show him as he's shown as a king from the Chola dynasty. That's it. How you perceive is your mindset. Now, why are the people saying that he's been perceived as a Hindu god? And even if he's perceived as a Hindu god, as people who probably have not seen the film have been talking about it, I mean, he was a Hindu god. Can they deny that he was not part? Because the rituals, what they're shown in the film, first of all, I would say people who've been saying that he's been depicted as a Hindu god when Hindu king, when he was not a Hindu king, there was no Hinduism then I would say first and foremost, it's an insult to somebody like Mani Ratnam, who would not make a film which is made with so much of hard work. You are insulting Mani Ratnam downright, saying that he's made a film without doing a homework about the history of Tamil. And Rajaraja Cholan, I think it's a very baseless argument when you start saying that he's been depicted as a Hindu god, when he Hindu king, when he was not. It's not about Hinduism. You didn't have Hinduism then when Rajaraja Cholan dynasty was there. So I think people need, either they are alienated from the history, or they love to be on the other side of the fence and say that my way is the highway.
So Is there anything in the film where he is performing Hindu rituals?
It starts with him performing. The entire dynasty, his entire family is shown that they are performing rituals, they are performing, they're offering prayers. All that is there, but then that has been part of history. We have been talking about offering prayers right from the time Rajaraja Cholan, and he started the practice of offering prayers and building temples. So are we going to move away from the basic point saying that during the Chola dynasty, the practice of building temples and offering prayers it did not exist?
Yeah, so they're saying most of the criticism that I have read, including what Mr. Kamal Hassan has also said, is that there were Shaivites and there were Vaishnavites, but they weren't Hindus.
Okay, the Shaivites, Vaishnavites, or whatever you call them, they were different forms of Hinduism. Like Rajaraja Cholan himself said he was been a follower of Shiva, and he built one of the biggest Shivan temples. Like in Tamil Nadu, what you call the big temple in Tanjavur was built by him. When he built the very first temple, he built where, a spectral temple where you say that you offer prayers and you build a memorial. He built it for his great-grandfather, and he placed a Shiva Lingam, as the identity, and he offered prayers. There were 4 agoris who were brought in from Kashi to build another temple near Vellore in Tamil Nadu. And there are transcriptions, very clear transcriptions, and it has been there, it's inscripted on the walls of these temples as to what it relates to. So these temples have been built from the time of Rajaraja Cholan. So are they trying to say that Hinduism, whether it was Vaishnavite or Shaivite, is not part of Hinduism? We have coined the word, bringing everything together, and coined the word saying that there's a Hinduism. There is Hindu. You say Hinduism today, but when you talk about Hindus, it was from the time, the minute you talk about saying that Rajaraja Cholan himself was a Shiva Bhakta, and then say he followed a cult which believed in Shiva, that itself says that there was Hinduism even then. The caste-wise, you differentiate between them, like Brahmins and the others. In Brahmins, you have different castes. You say Shaivites or Vaishnavites, you split them. But you cannot say that the Hinduism did not exist then. I mean, it's absolutely... Yeah.
So is this a reaction basically to how Hinduism is being seen now? Like in a lot of the commentary, it would be seen as, Tamil culture is, Hinduism is, detrimental to Tamil culture. So a lot of people are saying, Tamils are not Hindus. We are Tamils first.
So who is saying that? Please tell me one common man from Tamil Nadu who says that I'm a Tamilian, but I'm not a Hindu. I'm a Tamilian, but I don't pray. I'm a Tamilian, I go to the temples, but that does not include me in being a Hindu. You have different people in this country, and everybody under one umbrella, and you have the Hindus and the Muslims and the Christians and the Jains and the Buddhists, everyone living under harmony. Why are we splitting this suddenly and saying that this is Tamil but this is not Hindu? Nobody is saying that. You have no beliefs, don't do it. Even the Tamil Nadu government, they themselves have a ministry who looks after the temples of Tamil Nadu, and all these temples come under one umbrella. So are they saying, when the chief minister's own family goes and offers prayers, and you see them sitting for hours together doing prayers and offering all everything in different temples. So are they saying that we are not Hindus? I mean, you are a Hindu, you are a Tamilian, you take pride in saying I'm a Tamilian, but you cannot move away in saying that I am not a Hindu. I am married to a Pillai, I'm married to a Saiva Pillai, which is a very different caste, but I'm married to a Hindu. What is the religion you're going to write? Whichever part of the world you are in, you believe in something and you say, my religion is Hindu, my religion is a Muslim, my religion, I'm a Buddhist, I'm a Jain. So you have different religions, but you cannot say that I am not part of a Hindu. You cannot say I'm a Tamilian, but I'm not a Hindu. I mean, it does not make sense at all, Padmaja.
Interesting that this rewriting of even the religion of a king is being done by those who oppose the rewriting of history or the saffronization of history. Thanks very much, Khushbu, for speaking to us.
Thank you.
And let me take it straight across now to our panel. Joining us now is Uma Anandan, Councillor of the BJP, political analyst S.S. Sriram, actor Kasturi Shankar, Lakshmanan, Ravichandran, spokesperson of the Makkal Nidhi Mayyam, S.S. Balaji, MLA and Deputy General Secretary of the VCK, and G. Balachandran, retired officer and IS officer and former president of the Delhi Tamil Sangam. I want to start with you, Mr. Lakshman Ravichandran. Playing the devil's advocate. Okay, so Rajaraja Chola is not a Hindu king. What king is he?
So before we get to the Rajaraja Chola part, I want to basically debunk what happened. Just set the premise, right? So Dr. Kamal Haasan was in a press interview today for a movie review. He was not there. It was not a political press meet, number one. Number two, a friend of media very specifically and point blankly quoted and asked about, Director Vetrimaran's quote, and asked Dr. Kamal Haasan what is his inference. And that's when Dr. Kamal Haasan said that the coinage of the word, he did not say anything about the Hinduism per se. He said the coinage of the word did not exist during the Chola period. At that point in time, there were a much more particular different semantic or a terminology used to address Hindus, which is either Saivites or Vaishnavites, or that's the premise from where Dr. Kamal Haasan came. And he further went on to say that around 500 BC, when Adi Shankara was there, he then combined 6 subsects into one ideology based on the deities you worship, which is Shiva, Vishnu, Shakti, Ganesha, Surya and Skanda. So anybody who worships all 6 come under the same sect of what Adi Shankaracharya was trying to define. So nowhere here I see that he has gone and said in bold that Rajaraja Chola is not a Hindu. He said he agreed. How can you call someone by a term that did not exist?
Okay, so
that's the point.
All right, great. So he was just making a distinction to say that at that time there were Vaishnavites and Shaivites, but in principle not denying that he was a Hindu king. Great, that we're in agreement. Glad you cleared that position. So let me now ask you, SS Balaji, do you also agree that Rajaraja Chola was a Hindu king? And if not, then what was he?
Before that, I just have a doubt. These people claim Rajaraja Chola as a Hindu. First and foremost, who is the person who has the authority to define who a Hindu is? Our problem is that the definition which for a Hindu is given today is the issue. You mean to say that a Hindu can, each and every Hindu has the same privilege as each other person in that religion as a person who claims to be a Hindu? That is the main problem.
Okay,
now,
that's a very deep theological question you've asked. So let me bring in SS Sriram. Okay, Mr. Balaji is asking SS Sriram, who is Hindu? If you're saying that Rajaraja Chola is a Hindu king, first of all you define who is Hindu.
That is where the problem is. The problem is there.
So that's a very deep question. I'm not empowered to answer it. So you're saying who is a Hindu? SS Sriram, who is a Hindu?
Let me first, before that, let me tell you. These people would talk about, they say when Rajaraja Chola is not a Hindu, but they will say Manusmriti, which was much, much older than that, says that Hindus hold on, Mr. Balaji, hold on. When you say, Mr. Balaji, hold on, I will answer your question. No, I will have to expose you also. You hold on, I have to expose you also.
No question, you are exposed.
No, hold on.
You stand exposed.
Have the patience. Hear me out. You all quote Manusmriti and say Hindus were so and so. But when you come to Rajaraja Chola, you come and tell me there is never a word called Hindu. So what sort of a contradiction is this in the first place? To answer your question.
Has an access to Vedas. You answer this.
Mr. Balaji, you asked a question, a very basic understanding purely as a layperson. I am not a priest. I have not studied all the, Hindu religion in depth, but only purely as practicing Hindu, I understand that if somebody builds a temple, worships a Shivling, purely as a layperson, I would think that he or she is a Hindu. You don't agree with that? That somebody who worships a Shivling is a Hindu.
Can I understand that? Can I understand that? If a person is going to go to a church and does worship, he is a Christian, he or she is a Christian, right? But for your information, there are hundreds and lakhs of people in Tamil Nadu who worship Hindu deities. At the same time, they visit the churches. They visit the mosque.
So are you saying Rajaraja Chola was a Christian who was installing a Shiv temple and installing a Shivling inside and worshipping it?
I'm talking about the ideology. I'm not talking about an individual.
I'm asking for specifics, sir. If Rajaraja Chola, as a lay person, I am told, made 3 Shiv temples in Tamil Nadu, installed a Shivling and worshipped it along with his family, what is he according to you?
Okay, so according to you, any king who has constructed a Hindu temple will
Sir,
be
I'm
a
asking
Hindu.
for your opinion.
So you mean to say that those Muslim kings or emperors or those who have built temples here?
No, Mr. Balaji. Mr.
They are also
Balaji.
Hindus. You mean to say?
Can you name me a Muslim king and emperor who has worshipped a shivling, has installed a shivling, and then has subsequently gone on to worship it?
No, you talked about building a temple. You didn't talk about worshipping.
I said both, sir. I said built a temple, installed a shivling, and then worshipped it. If you are claiming that there is a Mughal emperor who used to worship a shivling, that's a great piece of learning. I would love all our viewers to have it. Please name.
For your information, it is the slogan from our Tamil literature, Yadum Ure, Yavaram Kelir, that is kept in the urn. That is our pride. We treat each and every human being at par. But this is not the concept which is being preached.
So just the building of temples does not make him a Hindu. Answer that.
Padmaja, my question to him is, had Mr. Rajaraja, as the King Rajaraja Chola, has he ever built a mosque? Has he ever built a church? Okay, let Mr. Balaji answer this. If he is not a Hindu, he must have built a church or a mosque.
Did anywhere he mentioned himself as a Hindu? As he mentioned himself as a Hindu, then why do you have an imaginary character in the same novel, in the same picture? You have an imaginary character which contradicts with the Saivites.
Okay, sir, you have asked a specific question now. Has he ever mentioned himself as a Hindu? Let S.S. Shriram answer. Has he mentioned himself as a Hindu specifically?
He has very much mentioned all this is in his stone edicts. He did know that people like Balaji's will at some point in time come and say he is not a Hindu. So all his facts are very much in stone edicts and also in copper inscriptions. Now my one question to Mr. Balaji will be, Mr. Balaji, have the patience to hear me out, please. I can't be shouting.
Go on, S.S. Shriram. Yes.
Now my question, the kind of concern and the curiosity that these people have on Hinduism. We have one religion, the one God in the Christianity. How many sects are there in that Christianity? You have a Catholic, you have a Protestant, you have a Baptist, you have a Seventh-day Adventist, you have a Catholic Syrian, you have an Orthodox Syrian, and every one of them use their own doctrinal practices. They might have one God, but they have different practices. In Hinduism, when we have so many number of gods, there will obviously be so many sects, but all of us are called as Hindus. So are they. All of them are called as Christians. Why are they poking only on Hindus? That's my question.
Mr. Balaji.
Nowhere in any religion, you mark a certain sect of people, only you should be the scavenger, only you should be the priest, only you should do this. Nowhere in this world, anywhere in any religion, no such discrimination is there. That is the point.
What is the point? What is the discrimination, sir, you're talking about?
Yeah, you have a discrimination. You see,
okay. First of all, we have jumped from point to point. You still haven't answered the basic question that if somebody has a Kul Devi who is Durga, they worship Lord Shiva, how can they not be Hindu? And if according to you they are not Hindu, I ask you, sir, who are they? Who are they? Okay, fine, I take your hypothesis, they are not Hindus. Can you enlighten us? Who are they?
I guess you would have watched the previous episode in your same channel. One gentleman, Sriram, he gave a confession statement. There were, as Sheshadri thing, Madri Sheshadri.
Sir, I am asking, okay, sir, I do not want to go here and there for people watching right now. I am asking you straight away, again for the nth time, my very direct question to you is that if a king worships Shiva, if a king's Kul Devi is Durga, what is that king if not a Hindu?
See, you should understand one thing. The Hindu as such, which is today, has never been a religion. It is a conglomerate. It's a mixture. It's a mixture of several groups of people as they have been worshipping different deities according to their landscape and according to their place of living. They all have been put together.
Okay, they're all put together. Strange, because you just said Hinduism was very rigid and did not let anyone come inside. But now you're saying it's a conglomeration of everything. Uma Anandan wants to respond. Yes.
Yeah, if not for the British, They would not have been Hindus. It's a statement of Shankaracharya.
Okay, go on. Umanandan.
One thing, Padmaja, are you going to make him shut up or not? Are you going to make that man shut his mouth or not? Now I have had enough of this nonsense. First, I would like to ask the gentleman a question. First, the Kuladevam of Cholas was Nisumba Sudani.
Yes, go on. Umanandan.
That is enough. Come to the topic, man. Come to the topic. First, the Kuladevam of Cholas is Nisumba Sudani. That is a Shakti, this thing. So he built a temple for Shiva. And so he ceases to be a Shaivite. Second, I would like to ask this gentleman a question. The British King Henry VIII wanted to marry Anne Boleyn. He broke away from the Roman Catholic Church and the entire country became a Protestant country. Because the Roman Catholics Pope did not give him permission for the divorce. So all the UKs are not Christian? People in the United Kingdom, it's a Protestant country. So they are not a Christian country? What nonsense. And he talks about discrimination. Why Christians, after they die, when they are not given due respect in the Christian graveyard, what is nonsense is he talking about discrimination?
Okay,
Third,
Mr.
I would like to ask him about this.
Yes.
We from Mahabharata days, ancient Ramayana, Rama came all the way to Rameshwaram to take the blessings of Lord Shiva and go to Sri Lanka. We believe all that. So now I think we have had enough of this nonsense. They want to promote Ponniyin Selvan. That film is a failure. And Ponniyin Selvan has not been a true Hindu film at all. Now, sensing that it's a failure, all these groups have come together to promote that film and see it becomes a success.
Okay.
Mani Ratnam is a pseudo.
Okay, I don't know if really that is about the filmmakers, because the debate is not so much about by the filmmakers, but it is about those who are uncomfortable with the film. Let me bring in Mr. G. Balachandran.
So I think I've had enough of this nonsense.
Okay, all right. Just hold on a second, ma'am. Let me bring in Mr. G. Balachandran. Just hold on a second. Mr. Balachandran, here is what is said about the Cholas. They claim their origin from the Ishvaku dynasty and their ancestry includes Sri Ram. They have given special consideration to Sanskrit language at different phases of their rule. They created benevolent endowments for Vedic learning and propagating the language. So somebody who descends from Lord Ram, somebody who worships Shakti and Lord Shiv, what are they if not Hindu? That is really the only question in this entire debate we are going on and on about.
No. See, first of all, the word Hindu, let us look at the historical perspective. The Muslims of the Arab countries in the olden days, they called Muslims from India as Hindu Muslims. It came from the region Sindhu. So it was a locational thing. It was a geographical thing to start with. Now, British, for their administrative convenience, they combined various sects which are not Muslims or Christians, and I think Parsis also. They excluded these three, and perhaps I am not sure. They excluded Buddhism and Jainism also. All the others were clubbed together as Hindus. It was a GO. It was a government order by which all these people were put together as Hindus. Now, I think the objection some of these people, not some, maybe many people in Tamil Nadu have is, they identify Hinduism with the Sanatan Dharma. Now they say that Sanatan Dharma talks about a caste discrimination by birth, and therefore to be called a Hindu, if I am known as, in the Hindu system, if I am known as a person belonging to low caste, then to be called a Hindu is a misnomer to me.
That Hinduism started to exist after the British created disparate groups, clubbed them together and called them Hindus.
Yes.
So yes, Hindus came into existence from the British.
No, let us make it very clear. People belonging to Saivite religion or Vaishnava religion, they existed maybe for centuries. But they were all clubbed together as Hindus only by a British GO.
Okay, Kasturi responds. So basically, Hindus did not exist before the British designated them so. Kasturi, I think you're muted.
This seems to be the basic argument, unfortunately, that I've had to hear over and over again, and I saw your perplexed face, which is because Hindus were not called Hindus, because the label Hindu was not available, there was no Hindu at all. There was no Hindu practice at all. This seems to be the general rationale of all these arguments. And that's like saying, because before Priestley discovered oxygen, we didn't breathe. Before we called ourselves Homo sapiens, we were not humans. You're not a human because your ancestors in the cave, they were not human. Because we named them in the 20th century. This is what I've had to listen to all day. I'm going to start with Mr. Lakshman Ravichandran because he has taken a volte-face from Mr. Kamal Hassan's statement that, Kamal Hassan was not dissing the Hindu religion. He was not commenting on Rajaraja Chola. No. They asked him point blank, what do you think of Vetrimaran's claim that, Vetrimaran said, if we don't take Dravidian politics, doesn't take an active interest in Tamil movies, they will take all our identities from us and change our histories. They will saffronize Thiruvalluvar and they will portray Rajaraja as a Hindu king. Those were his exact words. And they asked Mr. Kamal Hassan, Dr. Kamal Hassan, what does he think about that statement? And he said, हाँ, सच ही तो कहा है. He said that. He said he agrees with it. And then, yes, he talked about 8th century Adi Shankara. And he forgot that Rajaraja Chola was 11th century. And it's unfortunate that he knows everything, but he didn't, put it all in order. It's unfortunate. But I think he was kind of taken aback with that line of questioning because he quickly said, let's not religionize this movie. Let's just stick to the movie. But that I needed to clarify that about Lakshman's claim that Kamal didn't say anything. He did say something inflammatory because he said he agrees with the original claim. And that's not true. And I'll tell you why. Most people here, the other person from BCK, of course, started saying he hates Hinduism. His problem is not Rajaraja Chola being Hindu.
I think Mr. Lakshman wants to quickly respond to you.
No, I haven't even, okay.
Yes, Mr. Lakshman.
Yeah. Yes, okay. So my response to Kasturi is very simple. I am saying that what she is claiming is incorrect. The question that was posed was very simple. They asked, Vetrimaran said that Rajaraja Chola was a Hindu. Is that correct or not? That was the question that was posed to Dr. Kamal Hassan. It was not about saffronizing anything. It was not about Dravidianism, nothing. It was a separate statement released by Vetrimaran. It did not happen. I would request Kasturi madam to go and see the footage again. So I strongly rebuke that statement. I don't think that happened. Having said that, I am saying again, what Dr. Kamal Hassan said was just that the coinage of Hinduism did not exist during the Chola period, and that is a fact.
Which again is incorrect. No, that is not a fact.
It is as simple as that.
That is not a fact.
At that point in time, there was specific sects called Saivites and Vaishnavites. That is
Kasturi.
Now, going back, if we have to really look at, now I don't know, why did she bring the Dravidianism into it? Dravidianism is a race. We are not talking about it. We are talking about whether Rajaraja Chola was a Hindu or not. And this is something that is the exact debate that is happening. Dravidianism and Aryanism is not, that's not what we are talking here. Dravidians are separate.
No, but do you agree in principle? Just a second. Do you agree in principle? Because the example given was, okay, so BJP had a saffron Thiruvalluvar, and now they are calling Rajaraja Chola, Hindu king. So all of this is taking away our identity and saffronizing it. Do you agree with that? That this is saffronization of a king?
Dr. Kamal Hassan did not comment or endorse that. That's what I'm trying to tell you. He did not comment or endorse. He said, yes, we had different religions. They were all clubbed together.
Okay, so clearly there has been a rethink, or so claims Kasturi. So anyway, let's move on. If Mr. Ravichandran is saying that he did not say, let's leave it at that. But what do you make of this saffronization? Is there a saffronization, Kasturi?
I'm actually coming to that. Mr. Kamal Hassan said, usually I have the greatest respect for his knowledge. But in this case, I don't think he meant it. I think, again, Lakshman is completely rethinking and reinventing what he said. Mr. Kamal said there is only two, they called it, he actually said they called it by different names. I don't think he claimed that there were only two religions, but okay, if we take the argument that there was only Shaivam and Vaishnavam during the Chola age, please.
Okay, one at a time, please, one at a time. We've laid that to rest. Moving on about saffronization, Kasturi, yes.
If he said it, there is only Shaivam and Vaishnavam that existed during the Chola age. It is incongruous with his own claim that Adi Shankara already unified the religions 4 centuries ago. So I will say this. If, as you ask, if a man who brings water from Kashi, from the Ganges, comparing himself to Bhagirath who did that from the heavens. If a man who makes a Vedic temple with Vedic rituals imports Brahmins from various parts of India to cohabit with the Brahmins already existing in the Tanjore region, if a man who makes Chaturvedi Mangalams for them, if a man who calls himself Shiva Pada Sekara and calls himself incarnation, the 11th century incarnation of Lord Vishnu, if a man who calls himself a direct descendant of Ikshvaku, if that man is a Shaivite and not a Hindu, maybe this is semantics, but I'm not getting it. What's the difference?
The difference, Mr. Balaji says, that maybe he's just a person who liked building temples. Maybe he was an aficionado of the architectural arts.
Sure, that's why he calls himself a descendant of Rama.
Mr. Balaji?
That's what...
No, see, just don't try to divert things which I'm coming to say.
I didn't, sir, because the exact analogy you gave were that there were so many Muslim kings who also built temples. So that doesn't make them Hindu.
The primary question is not about the religion of Rajaraja Chola. The issue here is,
yes, it is.
Why do they want to claim everyone and every identity as a Hindu?
Why do you want to de-Hinduize him? Why do you want to take away his identity?
She asked a question.
I mean, this is like saying, why are you calling them a Mughal king? You should say king.
I just answer.
Taj Mahal wasn't built by a Mughal king, it was built by a king. Why do you call Mughal kings Mughal kings?
Kasturi asked a question. A person who is worshipping deities, say Shiva or Vishnu, they may not be, they are compulsorily Hindus is what her claim is. I have a judgment. She is also an advocate, I know. It is a case referred to collector of Mathura versus Moto Ramalingam Sethupathi. This Sethupathi is a Hindu as per Kasturi's point of view. The judgment given by the Privy Council, the issue was related to the adoption of a son. The judgment says that
I think while he's looking for the judgment...
The Privy Council, based on the decision on this particular case, are the most authoritative source in Hindu law regarding adoption, and concluded that in the Dravidian school, even in the absence of authority from husband, a widow is entitled to adopt a son. What I'm coming to prove is, there exists another set of people who follow a different set of rules and principles with regard to the religion. You cannot term them as a Hindu. This is what I'm coming to say. This happened in 1868, this particular case.
What? Okay, I think S.S. Sriram very vehemently wants to respond to you. I didn't quite get the drift of what you're saying. Just a second. Kasturi, just a second. S.S. Sriram and then Kasturi back to you.
No, please don't keep changing your goalposts, Mr. Balaji. I think you are absolutely confused. Today we are talking about whether Rajaraja Chola... No, let me talk, please. I have been very patiently waiting. You all keep changing your goalposts time and again because you guys miserably fail in everything that you try to spin over on Hinduism. See, let me be very clear. You said Rajaraja Chola is only a Saivite. But Rajendra Chola, his son, how did he build a Vaishnavite temple? If he says he's only a Shaivite. Now you guys are losing ground. You guys are sensing a Hindu consolidation, maybe in Tamil Nadu. So you all want to bring in one more problems like this to divide the Hinduism even further for your political gains. Don't give us this theory of Shaivite and Vaishnavite.
You know, and it can't be coincidental that suddenly the reference to Lingayats is brought in. To split the Lingayats and say you are Lingayats, you aren't Hindu. Now you say, oh, they are Shaivites, they are not Hindus.
Pardon?
Is this a deliberate attempt to try and split? Just like in Karnataka, you say, oh, they are Lingayats, they are not Hindus. In other places, you say they are Dalits, they are not Hindus. They are Shaivites, they are not Hindus.
They are not Hindus. We didn't go and ask them to say that they are not Hindus. It's the Lingayats who claim that they are not Hindus. See, the main problem is it is not de-Hinduization or something, whatever you say. The main problem is they all want us to come together as Hindus.
So what's the problem with that? Why is that a problem? Why are you saying the problem is they want us to come together? So you're saying that's a bad thing. People should be divided.
Those who talk Hindus are those people who want to claim privilege under Sanatana Dharma. It is those people
Kasturi.
who want to claim Rajarajan as a Hindu.
Can you mute his mic or something?
If Saivites are Hindus, why do you want
Padmaja, I'm going to put you out of your misery. Hello?
Yes, Kasturi, go on.
Your misery. I'm going to make this very clear to you. Mr. Balaji doesn't have a problem with Hinduism. Mr. Balaji has a problem with his identity as an anti-Hindu in Tamil Nadu. The problem is now the Dravidian ideologues as well as VCK have in the last few years have made it very clear that they are on the other side of Hinduism because they have labeled Hinduism as controlled by elitist Brahmins. So now the problem is they are perceived in Tamil Nadu as anti-Hindu, but their vote base, their voters are all Hindu. So now the only way is either they have to change their track, they have to sing a different tune, or they can say, hey voters, you're not even Hindu.
All right.
Yeah, you get agitated because we people have come to the stage and we are able to present things. That is the thing which is provocative to you. That is the thing which is provocative to you.
It's so disgusting.
We are not the Hindus which you claim. We are not the Hindus. We are not the undiscriminated Hindus which you claim.
If you're not Hindu, okay, nobody's forcing you to be a Hindu. But please don't go and
okay, so let me just ask you again, sir. Let me just ask you again, sir. Fine, you're saying that the construction of a temple does not denote anything. The installation of a shivling doesn't denote anything. The fact that people within the same family are Vishnu worshippers or Shiva worshippers does not denote anything. If somebody claims themselves to be the descendant of Lord Ram himself, does that still not prove that they are Hindus, or they could be anything? They could be a distinct group, they could be a, an unknown entity, they could be a...
Vaishnavite at that moment, Shaivite during the temple building. And then because there is
so what is the descendant of Lord Ram if not a Hindu?
With due respect, you should understand the land of Tamil. Okay, you know, nowhere in this world you can find literature or the land or the people who are so democratic, and we respect each and every individual and each and every person as a person.
That is great. Nobody is doubting it, sir. But democracy doesn't mean robbing people of their identity. My repetition of my question to you is, what is the descendant of Lord Ram if not Hindu?
That is your wish. You can call them whatever you want. That is your wish. What we are coming to say is, when there was Hinduism as such was non-existent, why do you want to say him as a Hindu?
Non-existent.
It wasn't there. It is what your Shankaracharya has told. It is what your Shankaracharya has told. Go and ask your Shankaracharya. He has given a written verdict. If at all the British people hadn't turned us together as Hindus, we would have been suffering. It is not my statement. Your Shankaracharya statement.
Sir, what is the descendant of Lord Ram if not Hindu? What is the descendant of Lord Ram?
Padmaja.
Mr. Balaji, what is the descendant of Lord Ram? What would you call them?
I know Rajaraja told it. I don't know who Ram is.
You don't know who Lord Ram is?
I'm not here to declare who is who. I talk only by the history.
Sir, you are discussing who Rajaraja Chola is, so please answer my question.
Yeah, he's a Saivite.
What would you call a descendant of Lord Ram?
You agree that he's a Saivite, but you add on saying that he's a Hindu. What is the problem in your...
Shaivite is about who you worship. Shaivite is not about your religion.
Just leave it there.
You could be a Hindu and a Vaishnava. Okay. I'm sure, Mr. Balaji, you know this already. Let's go over this again. And again, I say this completely as a lay person. Vaishnavite, Shaivite is about who you worship. You could be a Ram Bhakt and be neither a Vaishnavite nor a Shaivite. You could be a Durga Bhakt, a Kali Bhakt.
Yes.
You could be a Shakti worshipper. But all of these are Hindus. You're a Vaishnavite, but you are also a Hindu. It just so happens that you're a Vishnu Bhakt. So if somebody is a descendant of Lord Ram, this is about who you worship. Now, as an identity, if you are a descendant of Lord Ram himself, or so you claim,
how are you a Shaivite?
What are you if not a Hindu?
You say religion is a way of life.
Is Lord Rama Bhakt?
Then you come to say worshipping Rama as a Hindu. you first come to a conclusion.
No.
Whether
You said
if
you're a
it is going to
Shaivite,
way of
right?
life, you define, you say religion is a way of life. You say Hinduism is a way of life. You define the way of life.
Hinduism is a way
It
of
is very
life.
simple. You try to
What are you actually defending? Okay, Hinduism is a way of life. I said Sriram. I don't know how this became about a way of life. You were vehemently calling him a Shaivite and then you suddenly made it a way of life. Okay, S.S. Sriram.
Padmaja, I have a question for Mr. Balaji.
Okay,
His leader said Nadarajar in Chidambaram is a Christian. He said he is not a Hindu.
He didn't say that.
On what ground did he come to the conclusion that Chidambaram was a Jesus and he was not Shiva? Kindly let us know. Let the people of India know that Lord Chidambaram is Jesus and he is not and he is not Nadarajar and he is a Jesus.
Mr.
Balaji, get this Jesus.
If you have the guts, you show the proof if you have the guts. Otherwise, you have to apologize in front of all.
Talking about my guts, Mr.
You show the proof. You show the proof. You just don't talk. Never had it said that. Never did he say that. You just don't talk.
Your leader claims.
Don't try to. Don't. This is the problem with you.
That it is Jesus and it is not me. As far as I am concerned, he is Nadaraja.
You show give the evidence.
He is a Jesus. So you must prove whether he is Jesus or not. Not me. So kindly prove.
Don't just say anything which doesn't have any evidence or anything, okay?
No, why did he say that?
Something on a
why did he say that?
Then skip from here. You people try to.
No, then why did he say that?
Ambedkar
why did he
strongly oppose Hinduism. I said
why did he say that Nadarajar was
you should give any proof. You should give any proof.
Okay, you want proof, but so far you still haven't given any proof, sir, of the assertions that you are making. Mr. Lakshman Ravichandran and Mr. G. Balachandran, I want to come to you, Mr. Balachandran. Again, the fundamental question remains. If somebody claims to be a descendant of Lord Ram, what would you call them if not a Hindu? Mr. Balachandran.
It's a good question. He also calls himself to be descendant of Karikal Chola, who is of the Sangha age. Cholas are the descendants of Sangha age Cholas. Karikal Chola never called himself descendant of Ishwakuka Vamsa or Rama. Now, we can have this argument either on historical evidences or on emotional lines. If we go by historical evidences, it is obvious that some sects, because of their tremendous spiritual power and other powers, they were able to hold sway over the entire India. Now, as much as it was a practice in the north to call the kings to be descendants of sun god or moon god, that practice came here only during the Middle Cholas period. Middle Cholas is Rajaraja Chola's great-grandfather and others. Therefore, this, yes, you see, Sanatana Dharma came here. Let us not confuse between Sanatana Dharma and Hinduism. Now, Rajarajan was a Shaivite. There is no doubt about it. Sorry, I don't think you should become emotional. I am not emotional. I am talking rational. Okay?
I'm sorry, sir. I can't help it. I'm emotional.
Okay, then you see, you hold on to your emotions. Let me talk rational here. Now, let us all remember here, Rajarajan was a Shaivite. It's also a fact that at that point of time, there were tremendous clashes between Shaivism and Vaishnavism. In fact, one of the great descendants of Rajaraja, there is a film, which was taken by Kamal Hassan where in Dasavataram, it is clearly
That's your
shown.
evidence?
That's because, no, I am not saying that. It is history. It is not just a mere saying from on the road. It is history that this Kulotunga Chola, who is a descendant of Rajaraja Chola, he got executed one of the Vaishnavite priests for the simple reason that this man said, I believe only in Vaishnavism. Now, the point is not whether Rajaraja believed in Shaivism or Vaishnavism, etc. Rajaraja was a Shaivite, there is no doubt about it. The kings had to respect and accommodate all religions.
But aren't Shaivites Hindus, sir? I agree with all that you said, but aren't Shaivites Hindus? That's the question.
No, they have been categorized along with others as Hindus by a GO, a government order.
So they are Hindus.
Then tomorrow, if the government order says that they are not Hindus, will you accept it?
But Hindus were Hindus before a government order. Are you suggesting? Are you suggesting that until that government order, Hindus were not Hindus? That they identified only as Shaivites and not Hindus.
Until that government order, these sects, they were at times having cordial relations, at times they were fighting against themselves. They were different sects altogether.
So let's end with this. Let's end with this. Okay, final 10 seconds, please, Kasturi.
There are people who are fans of actors today who fight with each other. That means nothing. People will fight with each other doesn't mean that we have completely given up our religious identity. That is a bakwas argument. But here's what I'm going to say. If somebody said in a stone edict that as long as Lord Shiva and Parvati sit on their Nandi in the Himalayas, in the Kailaya, as long as Lord Vishnu sits along with Goddess Lakshmi in the Milky Ocean, as long as the Lord Sun, Surya, as Lord Surya shines upon this land, our Chola justice will prevail. That if somebody said that, it's hard to categorize them as just a Shaivite. And if he was just a Shaivite, so be it. What's the difference between a Shaivite and a Hindu?
And even if you say that it came into being only after a government order, well, as of the year 2022, that government order is in play. So today, if we are saying that Raja Chola is a Hindu, he is a Hindu. So in the current thing, you're saying he's a Shaivite or a Vaishnavite, you're just splitting hair. He's a Hindu, whether you like it or not, and that's not saffronization. I'll leave it at that. Thank you very much, all gentlemen Kasturi, for joining me.
The News Hour at 10 will be right back after the break. At 10.
Delhi Jal Board scam explodes. LG VK Saxena asks Chief Secretary to take immediate steps to clear all dues of Dalit workers engaged in cleaning sewer lines. Police arrested a man from Darbhanga who allegedly made threat calls to Reliance Industries chairman Mukesh Ambani's family. The cops have also recovered the mobile he used. Rouse Avenue Court remands Delhi Liquorgate accused Vijay Nair to 14 days judicial custody. CBI tells court that he can be sent to judicial custody and does not require further police custody. BRS political arrogance caught on camera. Minister Srinivas Gaur's supporters thrashed a man on stage for allegedly bursting firecrackers without minister's permission. CBI summons M. Shivashankar, former Principal Secretary to Kerala CM, to appear for interrogation in connection with the alleged corruption and irregularities in receiving foreign aid for the Life Mission housing project.
The News Hour at 10 will be right back after the break.
You can't.
You're watching The News Hour at 10.
Around 200 Bharat Mukti Morcha workers who held protest outside RSS office in Nagpur were detained. The workers had sought permission for rally but were denied by the cops. The agitators termed RSS anti-constitutional. Accused in Worli sealing accident, Irfan Abdul Rahim has been arrested by the police under Section 304 of IPC for overspeeding and rash driving. A total of 5 people were killed while 8 others were injured in the incident. Ahead of premier defense exhibition, DRDO officials in Maharashtra tested 3 unmanned remote-controlled weaponized boats in Pune.
अबे तू The Danda 2 mountain peak, an expert team from Gulmarg reached there to assist trapped mountaineers. 9 have been confirmed dead while 29 are still missing. Speaking at the Bharat Jodo Yatra in Karnataka, Congress MP Jairam Ramesh said that the countdown for BJP's fall in the next election has begun. Meanwhile, Sonia Gandhi joined the Yatra in Mandya. Deputy Chief Minister of Bihar Tejasvi Yadav had yesterday gone to Gurugram's Vedanta Hospital to inquire about the health of former UP Chief Minister Mulayam Singh, admitted there. He said that there is improvement in his health and is currently in CCU. Rohit Sharma-led Indian team departed for Australia for the upcoming ICC Men's T20 World Cup starting from October 16. A quick break.
Times Now has accessed the telephonic conversation between the accused Pulkit Arya and Ankita's friend. This is a phone conversation that took place between the main accused Pulkit Arya and Ankita's close friend. Listen in.
हेलो
हेलो
हाँ पता लगा कुछ?
हेलो बात करता हूँ बस आपको आधे घंटे में हम यहीं बैठे हुए हैं अभी।
कहाँ बैठे हो आप?
यहाँ स्टेशन में, पुलिस स्टेशन में।
पुलिस स्टेशन में?
हाँ, वो इंस्पेक्टर से बात हो गई है, वो पहुँच रहे हैं अभी हमारे पास 10-15 मिनट में।
आप अभी पुलिस स्टेशन में हो, वो रिजॉर्ट में जाएंगे
क्या? हाँ रिजॉर्ट में जाएंगे, पूरा सारा सब देखेंगे, सारी चीज सब देखेंगे, कहाँ है, किसके साथ बात किया, क्या नहीं किया, कॉल डिटेल पूरी निकालेंगे, हिस्ट्री सब निकालेंगे। भाई ये सब करना पड़ेगा।
अच्छा मुझे एक बात बताइए।
हाँ,
जब आपने मेरे को रात को फोन किया था कि इनको ले जाओ, है ना, कहीं और जॉब ढूंढो, तो उसके बाद से उनका फोन बंद क्यों हुआ है? मेरे को ये समझ नहीं आ रहा।
भैया आपको सारी बात समझाएंगे, अभी आप आधा घंटा दीजिए, आधे घंटे बाद बात करते हैं।
चलो ये भी मानता हूँ, चलो जो भी है, मेरे को ये समझ नहीं आ रहा आपने अपना पर्सनल फोन कैसे दे दिया पूरी रात के लिए?
भैया मेरा पर्सनल फोन क्या है, मेरे फोन में क्या है, ऐसा कुछ
नहीं ऐसी बात नहीं है। जैसे मेरा कोई पर्सनल फोन है, मैं पूरी रात के लिए किसी को थोड़ी ना दूंगा।
हो सकता है कि शायद आपके पर्सनल फोन में कुछ ऐसी चीजें रहती हो कि आप किसी को नहीं दे सकते हो।
नहीं जो मर्जी हो, मगर पर्सनल फोन है ना, बंदा कहीं पे भी फोन कर सकता है।
और दूसरी बात क्या है ना, ऐसा है, देखिए मैं अभी यहाँ बैठा हुआ हूँ, मैं आपको भी आधे घंटे में बात करूँ।
मेरा विचार भगवान के ऊपर है। लॉर्ड कृष्णा विल डू इट।
तो मैं तो देश की सेवा के लिए ही पैदा हुई हूँ और मैं देश की सेवा करना चाहती हूँ और
Hello and a very warm welcome. You're watching our overnight bulletin on Times Now. First up, the top 50 stories. Congress leader Udit Raj insults India's first citizen, hurls chamcha jibe at President Murmu. BJP leaders slam Udit Raj, say Congress leaders' jibe against the president is undignified and unfortunate. NCW takes cognizance of the jab, summons Congress leader Udit Raj on 10th of October, demands an apology. War over Adipurush teaser continues. BJP leaders express ire against makers, say deliberate attempts being made to insult Hindu gods. VHP continues its tirade against Om Raut's Adipurush. Hindu group alleges wrong depiction of Lord Ram, Hanuman and Ravan. Protest against movie Adipurush in Varanasi entered day 2. Agitators allege Bollywood has committed an unforgivable sin. Movie actor Prabhas, confronted by Times Now at Red Fort, evades questions. Actor and politician Kamal Haasan comes out in support of director Vetrimaran's claim that Rajaraja Cholan was not a Hindu king and says that there was no term called Hinduism during the Chola era. BJP's H. Raja slams narrative of Ponniyin Selvan movie makers, says Rajaraja Chola was a Shiv Bhakt, alleges systematic de-Hinduization in Tamil Nadu. Congress interim President Sonia Gandhi joins her son Rahul Gandhi and other party leaders in Bharat Jodo Yatra in Mandya district. Enforcement Directorate summons DK Shivakumar on a Friday. ED will be questioning KPCC President in connection with money laundering case. Reacting to ED summons, Karnataka Congress General Secretary Randeep Surjewala says ruling dispensation is scared of the support that the Bharat Jodo Yatra is receiving from the people. Paying tribute to Rahul Gandhi's Yatra, Rajasthan Chief Minister Ashok Gehlot names a newly inaugurated elevated road Bharat Jodo Marg. AICC presidential candidate Shashi Tharoor says battle for Congress's top job is a friendly one. He says this contest is between different approaches, not a fight. Maharashtra Chief Minister Eknath Shinde's camp writes to Election Commission to stake claim on Shiva Sena's party symbol. Shinde requests Election Commission to allow bow and arrow symbol, further alleges misuse of the same by Uddhav's team. Rouse Avenue Court remands Delhi liquor gate accused Vijay Nair to 14-day judicial custody. CBI tells court that he can be sent to custody and does not require further police custody. Delhi Jal Board scam develops further. LG VK Saxena asks Chief Secretary to take immediate steps to clear all dues of Dalit workers engaged in cleaning sewer lines. A total of 16 bodies have been recovered from Uttar Kashi avalanche tragedy. As many as 13 trainees are still missing. Rescue operations have been halted due to bad weather. Uttarakhand Chief Minister Pushkar Singh Dhami oversaw rescue operations before they were halted. He also assured that the operations would conclude soon. 1.62 crore tourists have visited Jammu and Kashmir in 2022 so far, making it the highest in 75 years of independence. Figures were released a day after Home Minister Amit Shah visited the Union Territory and said that it has become a tourist hotspot due to the policies of Modi government that have ensured safety. Newly introduced Vande Bharat train running between Mumbai Central and Gujarat's Gandhinagar met with an accident after a herd of buffaloes strayed onto the railway line between Vatva and Maninagar stations. The front portion of the train was damaged. Indiscriminate firing was reported in Bharatpur in Rajasthan between two groups over an online fraud. Fortunately, no casualties were reported. Police arrived on the spot and brokered peace between warring groups. In a shocking incident from Chhattisgarh, a mob was seen beating up three dressed as sadhus, suspecting them to be child lifters. According to the mob, the sadhus were behaving in a suspicious manner. 3 children died and 11 others were hospitalized in an orphanage in Tamil Nadu's Tirupur due to food poisoning. Case has been registered against the private orphanage. CBI has summoned M. Shivashankar, former Principal Secretary to Kerala Chief Minister, to appear for interrogation in connection with alleged corruption and irregularities in receiving foreign aid for the Life Mission housing project. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will be inaugurating Mahakal Corridor in Ujjain on 11th of October. The construction of corridor has been completed. Prime Minister will be visiting pole-bound Gujarat between October 9 and 11. PM is expected to inaugurate several developmental projects during his visit. UP Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath is in Rajasthan, where he attended Chadar Posi Sant Samagan program. Over 70 people were injured in Kurnool in Andhra Pradesh while celebrating traditional Banni festival. They were shifted to a nearby hospital. Group of men attacked on-duty cops in Gurugram. Accused also vandalized the police van. Injured personnel being treated. Shocking case of mob justice comes to light. Man accused of rape was beaten to death by a mob near Hasanganj police station in Lucknow. Around 200 Bharat Mukti Morcha workers who held protests outside RSS offices in Nagpur have been detained. They were seeking permission for a rally but were denied. The agitators termed RSS anti-constitutional. Accused in Worli Sea Link accident, Irfan Abdul Rahim has been arrested by the police for rash driving and overspeeding. A total of 5 people were killed and 5 injured in the accident. Ahead of premier defense exhibition, DRDO officials in Maharashtra tested 3 unmanned remote-controlled weaponized boats in Pune. Full dress rehearsal of Air Force Day Parade was conducted at Old Airport ahead of upcoming celebrations. The Directorate of Revenue Intelligence have arrested a person with drugs at Mumbai International Airport. 16 kilograms of high-quality heroin worth over 80 crores was seized. Indian swimmer Sajan Prakash has bagged the gold in men's 200 meters butterfly swimming event with a new meet record at the National Games. India beat Kuwait 3-0 in a thrilling encounter at the AFC Under-17 Asian Cup 2023 qualifiers campaign. Indian men's cricket team led by Rohit Sharma has left for Australia for the upcoming ICC Men's T20 World Cup starting from 16th of October. They will be locking horns with Pakistan on the 23rd of this month. India has reported over 2,500 fresh cases and 12 deaths in last 24 hours. Active cases have declined to 32,282. The death of 66 children in Africa has triggered an alarm. WHO has red flagged 4 made in India cough syrups. Indian drug controller has ordered a probe into the matter. External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar has raised issues surrounding visa to Indian students during his meeting with his New Zealand counterpart. This is in the backdrop of Indian students impacted by stringent COVID-19 measures. A 20-year-old Indian origin student studying at Purdue University was found murdered in his dormitory in U.S. state of Indiana. His Korean roommate has been taken into custody under suspicion of committing the crime. Indian origin family of 4 who were allegedly kidnapped from Merced County in California were found dead today. A 48-year-old man has been taken into custody in connection with the case. We'll get you full details as CCTV image of when the kidnapping took place has come to fore. Former Nepal cricket team captain Sandeep Lamichhane was taken into custody for sexual assault charges after he arrived in Kathmandu. Over 30 people have been killed in a mass shooting incident at a children's daycare center in northeastern province in Thailand. The gunman was an ex-police officer. Manhunt is underway to nab him. In response to US-South Korea joint military drills near the Korean peninsula, North Korea has launched 2 short-range ballistic missiles towards its eastern waters. A professor in the University of Arizona was shot dead on campus by a former student. The accused has been arrested. SpaceX has launched 52 Starlink satellites into low Earth orbit. The launch from California was the second one in a day for the Falcon 9 first stage booster rocket. A gunman opened fire in a municipal hall in a small town of western Mexico, killing 18 people, including Mayor Conrado Mendoza Almeida. And the story that has been making headlines. It is a movie, but it has sparked a debate over history, religion and representation. Filmmaker Mani Ratnam's magnum opus Ponniyin Selvan, set in the backdrop of Chola Empire, has run into a massive controversy. The film has been accused of representing the Chola King as a Hindu. Dravidian filmmaker, actor and politicians claim that the period drama that tells the story of Chola Emperor Rajaraja I shows the king as a Hindu. From film director Vetrimaran to the DMK to Kamal Haasan, it's been claimed that the term Hinduism didn't even exist during the reign of Raja Chola during that era, and that a concerted attempt is being made to erase Tamil identity.
இந்து மதங்கிற பேர் ராஜராஜ சோழன் காலத்தில் கிடையாதுங்க. அப்படி வைணவம்னு இருந்தது, சைவம்னு இருந்தது, சமணம்னு இருந்ததே தவிர அது வெள்ளக்காரங்க நமக்கு வச்ச பேர். என்ன சொல்றதுன்னு தெரியாம தூட்டுக்குறைன்னு சொன்ன மாதிரி தான். எல்லாரும் எங்களுக்கு மதங்கள் வெவ்வேறு இருந்தது. அதையெல்லாம் 8ஆம் நூற்றாண்டில் ஆதிசங்கரங்கிற ஒரு ஷண்மத ஸ்தாபனம்னு பண்றாரு. இதெல்லாம் சரித்திரம். அந்த சரித்திரத்தை இங்கே சொல்லக்கூடாது.
He is a Saivite king. You know, during those days there was a fight between Saivism and Vaishnavism. And the Rajarajan built only Shiva temples, not Vaishnava temples. It was not there when Rajaraja was the king, because India was not there at the time. There were many kingdoms.
But the question is, any attempt to communalize anything, it is an anti-national action. Whoever tried to communalize any incident, that is anti-national.
ராஜராஜ சோழன் வந்து ஒரு இந்து அரசன் ஆகிறதா இருக்கட்டும், இப்படி தொடர்ந்து நடந்துகிட்டு இருக்கு. இது சினிமாவிலும் நடக்கும். சினிமாவிலும் நிறைய அடையாளங்களை வந்து எடுக்கிறாங்க. இந்த அடையாளங்களை நாம காப்பாற்றி